job, Boo Bear!
Propeller tail.
It's a propeller tail. He doesn't usually do that.
You got it, buddy! Good job, Boo Bear!
Propeller tail.
It's a propeller tail. He doesn't usually do that.
Oh, now it's all wet.
Good job, Bubba! You got it, buddy! You got it, buddy! Good job, Boo Bear!
Propeller tail.
It's a propeller tail. He doesn't usually do that.
Oh, now it's all wet.
Good job, Bubba! You got it, buddy! What a good Boo Bear! What a good Boo Bear! You're my beautiful baby, Bubba Bear. You're my beautiful baby. You gonna bring it all the way up? You gonna bring it all the way up here? Come on, all the way. All the way. What a good boy! What?
And then we're gonna go, okay, hold on. Point at the camera real quick and we'll see if that changed the audio. I'm trying to get a timing mark here.
Do what? Oh,
Okay,
there.
hold on, we're gonna go, okay, hold on. That other microphone's acting up. We'll just have to be a little echoey for now, so you're live though.
I don't, we're echoey. I know, but I mean, if echoey is not good. Okay. Okay. It's not echoey anymore? What? Is it ready? Is it ready? Are we doing it now? All right. Oh, okay. So, where were we at? What were we saying? Huh? What's happening now? I don't know.
Good, but you're basically on the different microphone. I'm gonna do a little technical fix here.
All right.
That's what happens when we drop off the air for 2 months. Technical difficulties. Give me a minute. They're basically running off of the audio from this camera over here, the one on the Boo Bear cam.
Okay.
So give me a minute to get that one back working, and we will see what we can do momentarily. Stand by.
Okay.
I'm gonna unplug. Oh, got a cramp in my leg. Ouch. Okay, I'm gonna try unplugging the audio for a minute from this.
Just a minute.
Sorry, guys. See if that fixed it. I'm gonna make one change downstairs, and we should be good. They can hear you right now, though. It's just,
You can hear me right now? Can you
They
hear me
can
right
hear us.
now? Can you? Huh?
but it's not coming off of the condenser mic. I got a call coming in. Hang on.
Who needs a fucking bong hit? Okay, so you guys can hear me then? Is that right? Okay. Back to Chipmunks. I don't know what's happening. Alright, so let's see. Thanks so much for tuning in. Very nice to see you guys. What? What? What did you say? Hi, Pete. Nice to see you, Pete.
Okay, we are on a little bit of a delay from normal, but we're rock and roll right now. Audio is about as good as we're going to get, and what I'm trying to verify is why our condenser mic is being so friggin' weird. But all things considered, I need to find out from anybody else out there, is our video screwed up? I mean, like I said, it's been 2 months here. Sorry, Mike, I apologize.
What's happening? I don't know what's happening.
What's happening is there's a little delay coming across my side, but I'm going to turn the audio off so it doesn't mess with our heads. Good news is, anybody wants to call, they can call now. We just need to figure out why our video going out. Take a look at this. It's so weird. Hold on. Mike, I want to show you what it looks like live. Okay, yours looks good. Your video looks good going out live. We got audio. Sorry guys, we're a little rusty. We used to do this live thing 5 nights a week, and now we're trying to bounce back. So.
Hey, I'm not apologizing. Fuck you. You don't like it, go somewhere else, okay?
Hey, I'm just saying, I'm trying to take care of the technical stuff, because behind the scenes...
Yeah, you're
I wanna
kicking
keep it
ass.
right.
Stop apologizing.
Alright, good times. So we can take some calls if you want, or you can tell the world what's going on. I'm going to jump off the phone, but our audio is pretty good.
Hey, thank you.
I'm going to drop off. Anybody wants to call, you know the number.
Alright, so let's see here now. There's all kinds of stuff happening here. Let's see. Okay, so, hello. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. I'm your host. It's your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm Moxie. So, let's see. I can probably only do like one bong hit, so I'm going to hold off on it for just a minute. But I will have a bong hit soon. And so because I know some of you guys are waiting to join me, and I get it going here in a sec. Hello?
Mox, it's Joe in Tucson. How the hell are you?
Hey, Joe. I am okay. How are you?
Dude, man, you popped up on my feed, and that was really good news, because honestly, I was just wondering about you guys, man. I was like, what the hell happened over there?
It's this 2020 thing, Joe, man. You know, I had to go to the hospital, and then my dog got sick, and I've been having a really hard time bouncing back from my hospital trip, and the dog got sick, and he had to be neutered, emergency neutered on Monday at 12 years old. So
Oh, shit.
yeah, so
Mark, I'm sorry, bro, man. You know what? That hits me where I'm weak.
Yeah.
And, so
that's what I keep feeling like, you know, like I get knocked down, and then there's just like one thing after another just keeps punching me, trying to keep me down. You know, it's weird.
Yeah, well, hey, you know what, man? I'm sorry to hear all that, because that, literally, I'm, just as vulnerable as you. I got, soft spots in my heart for all that. So I'm glad you're back, though, man. A lot has happened. 2020 has been sucking some major dick, right?
Man, it's not being very nice to any of us, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, spot on, man. Well, with that being said, man, how's your health? You you feeling good? You got an upswing that's happening?
I got a little upswing going on. I seriously, fuck, Joe. I was broken, man. I spent a week in the hospital, and the neurologist says that I have epilepsy, apparently now at 59 years old, and it got me on this medication that's, very, very strong medication, and it's just this one thing after another, and it's not I can handle it, you know what I mean? I can handle it, but it's just when it's one thing after another, and you're trying to focus on this, and and then the dog gets sick, and you're like, oh man, I just want my dog to get better, it's really rough, man.
Hey, you know what, man? Pardon me, but I really appreciate you sharing, that epilepsy thing. It's no joke, man. That's a heavy thing.
And it just came out of nowhere, and it's like, I've been, it's not that I'm like super straight edge or anything, but I mean, I don't do a bunch of drugs. I use marijuana and ibuprofen, and
Yeah.
I don't eat fast food. I don't drink sodas. I don't, I'm not saying that I have the super clean life or anything, but I stay away from garbage a lot. And it's just weird. It comes out of nowhere, and it's so hard to, not to know what's next.
Yeah, I believe that about you, because I think you have probably a healthy suspicion of corporate drinks that will come to you. But, with the epilepsy and that, that's no joke, but, I'm glad you're dealing with it, because, man, I think it was Betty Davis said, getting old is not for sissies.
Yeah.
And I'm chasing you, man. I'm just a couple years. I'm 54. I'll be 55 in January. So I'm chasing you, man. And I have had medical, I don't feel like I used to when I was even a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Well, I hear you. I mean, it's the Stones said best. What a drag it is getting old. Yeah.
Honestly,
that's
what we got is a song and a dance. But man, on the other side of it, I'm glad you're here. With the when you came up on my feet, it was the first thing I punched on.
Yeah, I mostly honestly, I've been just holding the dog really close the last couple weeks, because I've been so concerned about him. You know, I just wanted him to get better, and it looks like he's getting better now. He looks like he's feeling a lot better. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, man. So what was his issue?
He got a swelled testicle, and then the doctors wanted to do an emergency castration then, or the one doctor did, but 5 doctors looked at him, and then they said, let's put him on some antibiotics, and then it seemed like everything got back to normal, but there was still some kind of a lump or something, and they were like, we just gotta get it out. So.
Well, hey, man, thank God for medical,
Yeah.
We used to only live half of our age, not that long ago.
Yeah.
Like, even when you did that in the 1900s, like, the human life was half of what it is now. And same thing for even animals. It was even worse. So, yeah, the future is a good thing, man. I'd like to get out of 2020, but, I don't want to bring around 2021.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to 2022. Honestly, get this shit way behind us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mox, hey, man. So dude, I feel like I'm interviewing you.
Uh-huh.
But I've got to. Like, what's your take on what's our fixes? And what's our things to watch out for? From what you've been dealing with,
what I'm dealing with, I really don't know. I've been telling you guys for as long as I've been making YouTube, you're not eating enough marijuana, and it would be very difficult for you to eat as much marijuana as I do, and apparently I'm not eating enough marijuana either, so, I
good news.
So I don't know, I just feel bad about, it's like I kind of don't know where to go after, that, because the last thing you would expect, eating as much marijuana as I do, that you'd be, all of a sudden having seizures out of nowhere,
So, yeah, all right, man, since you brought it back up, do you think, what induced your seizure? Do you have is there any organic thing that you could?
My short list. The only thing that I have. The only things I have on my short list are the 5G and the ibuprofen. I don't even drink tap water, dude. I drink fucking distilled water.
Are you feeling effects? Do you think that something triggered that, brought it on? Is it external, or do you think it's internal, or what?
Or Fukushima, maybe. Like I said, just comes out of nowhere, and then first it was me, and then it's 2 weeks later it's the dog, and 2 weeks before I had my seizure, one of the neighbors' dogs kind of got really aggressive towards our dog, and then that neighbor told me that night that dog had a seizure for the first time. So I don't know.
What's around you? Is there any external things around you that are, do you have 5G towers next door, or what's going on?
I have no idea about that. I would imagine that there's probably a lot of if there's 5G towers going up anywhere, I would imagine there's plenty of them going up in Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So do you think that, did you sense any of the epileptic seizures coming on in any way, shape, or form before?
No.
When was the first time you sensed it?
I didn't. I woke up in the hospital 3 days later after Craig found me. Craig found me upside down, underneath my desk with the desk chair on top of me, rolling around in glass because I have jars of marijuana underneath my desk. So I'd broken up a jar of marijuana and I was rolling around in glass, and I didn't sense anything. I don't even know. I honestly don't know what happened leading up to that event. I have no idea what happened that day at all. So.
Okay.
Well,
dude, listen, man, we can't lose you. So, just,
I'm
you
not.
know, we lose people all the time, so there's some self-awareness matched with, like, dude, like, we need you. You know what I mean? Just how we balance that. And, you know, like, I know you care about your dog, and you care about the world. You're cutting news clips. You're trying to make relevance out of thorough craziness. And, you know, but this country is, it's on fire. There's dumpster fires everywhere, and you're dealing with heavy medical.
Yeah.
And my heart goes out to you, man, because I know, you know, there's so much other things to deal with and to think about, but then you get these organic battles that roll about, you know, with, like, epilepsy. My brother had that, and it was onset, and it came later on in life. So, yeah, you know, I can't, you know, it was, I can't remember the medication he was on, but it definitely helped him.
Yeah. Well, the neurologist says it's very good medication they have me on. He was like, this is the stuff we want you on. So he was like the only guy that kind of recognized that I've been in pain a lot, you know, like all my muscles hurt, you know, and he was the only guy who kind of acknowledged that at all. And he was really, I liked him. The other people, the other general practitioner or whatever that I dealt with, I didn't care for her at all. She just seemed to have like a list of stuff she wanted. Like she wanted me to get a flu shot, and she wanted me to get a tetanus shot, and she wanted me to get a camera shoved up my ass. You know, and that was her list. It wasn't like, oh well, this is what's going on with you and your you know, epilepsy, and I don't give a fuck about all that other shit. I want to know what's happening with this, you know, before we start moving on to other things. And she says, well, why don't you want to get a flu shot? And I said, because I don't want to have any more seizures. And she said, oh, you're a real tough guy, aren't you? I mean, and you know, and it's just this. Yeah, it was like this psychological mind fuck game that she was playing with me. Like she somehow he got an edge on me, and this is one of the things I've been noticing a lot, Joe, is that when you're down, you know, when you're kind of at your lowest point, it seems like people somewhat instinctively kind of like go for the throat then, you know what I mean? It's like they kind of just, they don't have any control of kicking somebody who's down, because it's like, oh, that's the weakest link, that's the one we need to cut from the herd or whatever, you know? And because the other day in the grocery store, I got attacked by this guy, and I don't know if my posture has changed or something, but generally people don't fuck with me. No, I'm like, yeah, don't fuck with that guy.
Yeah, you know, just let me dial it back to the doctor.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, people like that, you know, you got two doors, and see if you agree with me. Is you somebody either understands like, damn, Mike's been through a lot. I'm not going to make it about me, and hey, Mike, you know what? Why don't you fit through this door and get a shot?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, not considering like what it's like to have epileptic seizures where you end up, you know, hunched over for, you know, who knows how long. And that doctor wasn't there with her sarcasm.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't come and, you know, peel you off the whatever you were bent over on.
Yeah.
And taking into consideration what the psychological aspects are of having this new, you know, to this new thing to deal with.
Yeah.
So,
no. Yeah,
you know, and I mean, that's just, it's like, you know, again, and I think that's literally kind of what what this goddamn thing that we're dealing with in humanity right now meets, you know, culture meets daily life is so misconstrued that, like, people can't separate, like, okay, I'm going to impose my, hey, Mike, get a shot.
Yeah.
You know, but don't consider anything else.
Yeah.
But yet, like, never consider, like, Mike has done, like, you know, just, you know, figuratively millions of videos on, and many of them on corporate culture scandal that will push through ineffective, scandalous shots
Yeah.
that are more of a monetary, financialized thing, more so than a cure to, get back to the organics of like, as we
Absolutely.
get older,
Absolutely.
we deal with shit.
Yeah,
so-
mentioning that, going back to Rufus, when we took Rufus in with this swelled testicle, right, to the vet,
Mhm.
the very first thing the vet asked is, has he gotten a flea treatment? Right, so like she knows that the flea treatment can be leaked to shit, and my first thought after hearing that leave her lips is, you mean like the ones that you insist that he needs to get every time we come to the fucking vet's office,
Yeah.
because they make money off of that shit. They know it's bad for the dogs, and I never have they had a flea treatment, by the way, because they don't need
Well,
it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like going in for a set of tires, and they're like, oh my God, look at your shock absorber system. Oh, wow, look at that, it connects. Hold on, whoa, we've got issues here. And before you know it,
Yeah.
you've got like a list of things to fix your arm long. It's called upselling.
Yeah.
And these are sales techniques versus like, emotional rescues when you just start talking about, your aging dog, and you know what, man, we don't want to be lonely, man. We don't want to. We value the things we value, and I don't really like people that don't like animals. In
Mhm.
fact, I can confidently tell you that I don't like them, because there's differences with people who aren't just willing to connect with things that this world is not built for dogs.
Mhm.
It's not built for cats or, domesticated animals or really anything.
Or
because
any
everything is
animals.
under threat from extinction, right?
Exactly. It's not built. It's not built in the for nature. We've completely our civilized world has completely been built separate from nature, as if that's who we are, and it's not going to work. It's not going to turn out well for us. All the salmon today. There's a report on the news about the reason all the salmon are dying is because little bits of rubber from the tires are going, coming off the road every time you drive your car, and it goes into the fucking water and goes into the creeks where the salmon try and swim up, and that gets stuck inside them and they die.
Yeah.
So, and they're saying, oh, this is like a major breakthrough, and all I can think is, you've known it's the fucking cars from day one. Okay? It's not some major breakthrough. It's like some admission is what it is,
Yeah, and I think it's just from a heavy industrialized world that owns politics, owns politicians. It's, all that is for profit. These, tire companies meet oil companies meet, which are closely related when you're making tires. There's a heavy component of a tire is an oil-based product.
Yeah. Petroleum,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we financialize everything, and then we just put it in
Everything.
some paramount position, and it's like, hey, you know what? Listen, man, you're dropping a bowling ball on your toe when you're not willing to get in line and just be a slave to this old ideology. Will be buggy whips during a car era. Not to say that a car era doesn't come without problems, but this is what evolution looks like. And even you in your story and what you have to evolve with new health care, new dogs, health conditions, but awareness to people always trying to pull shit over your head, in major ways, you can't get salmon swimming in rivers anymore because of connective weirdo things we never would consider. But it's an unfortunate reality, you know.
No,
And-
it's like I'm saying, nobody, the nature, we have to stop acting like we're separate from nature, number one, you know, because it's just going to turn out horribly for us, you know, and then we have to start looking at a 22nd century infrastructure, because what we're looking at now is basically a 19th century infrastructure, and it's garbage. I mean, at the time it was state of the art, and it's really what made America great in the first place was our infrastructure. And for whatever reason that we're holding back on acting like that should be a priority now, if we really want America to be the shining beacon great in the world again, then that should be the number one priority. You know, let's make this so that we're looking for not just the 21st century, but the 22nd century. You know, we can go, yeah, we put this in place for the people that are coming after us. You know, and that would actually, because we don't do anything like that now. And I'm disgusted by the fact that we're not putting anything in place for the people coming after us. It's like, let's just use everything up we can for us, because all that matters is us.
Well, and yeah, you know, I think there's a God damn, man, you opened up like so many things to talk about. But I would agree with that. You know, just for starters, like you look at our economy, and it's like when you look at our exports, it's like we're an 19th century, you know, economy.
Right.
We're agrarian. We're mostly agrarian. We export a lot of wood products. We like, and this is just like, you know, the wholesale end of it. It's not the retail coming back in a box and a finished good. It's like raw materials, soybeans, corn, you know, made just crop. But, you know, we're in the information age, and most of the stuff that we get comes from not here, you know. And so, you know, we big game, like our political leaders, about what it is to be competitive in a, you know, modern economic market, but we've fallen like just woefully, you know, in a bad spot. And so that's one thing, right? And then you know, just like where we go from now is you know, how do we, you got to process some of the pain and acknowledge that we're literally a farming community. Yeah, you got some high-tech jobs in Seattle, you got some high-tech jobs here and there, but you might drive for Uber, you're not high-tech. It's, you know what I mean? It's down the tube, it's way downstream from where we need to be in terms of, you know, when just being a developing country and acknowledging the future, and like you said, getting back to the infrastructure thing of it, but that's a real deal. That's going to be real. But if we're honest and we're not captured by old systems that have captured a for sale political system, that they get to step up and come in and be relevant because they've got enough money, but they might be, you know, in terms of product and, you know, how we lay out our infrastructure, they may get in there under false pretenses, right? And they may not, like, be giving us the best product we can. They were more so structured from a financial, for-profit politics, and they got the ear of the politician that said, we're going with a dinosaur.
Yeah.
I got a leash around a dinosaur, and guess what? He's been financialized. So, you know, I love the fact what we can do, but if we're just like basic monkeys that can't process information and make a good mental capital, you know, decision, and in a way to move forward in a sensible way, you know, that, like, that seems like something that we have to contemplate as well.
We have
You
to
know,
we have to, like I said, we have to prioritize things that are bigger than ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
Because all that seems to matter is, like you're saying, is money. It just all boils down to money, and none of these politicians are going to save us. It doesn't matter. There is no right, there is no left. There's a pretend right and a pretend left, and if you buy into their bullshit for 1 second, you know, you're part of the problem. They're not. There's no one there representing any of the American working class, and they are never going to. Otherwise, we would have. There would be this infrastructure thing would be a no-brainer. It'd be like, well, look, this is the most important, one of the most important things that we can do for our country constantly, and it just, they act like it's just not even on their fucking radar, you know. So.
I think the fight, though, is alive, Mike.
Yeah.
And I think the right fight is there. It's always been there. I know that we are, you know, a lot of times are, you know, I think the fight is clear. And I think that fake politics, if we don't not fight, I know that sounds mangled when I say it that way, but if we're not pushing back, like in a meaningful way that we know is right, they will dominate us and totally face fuck us.
And that's because Joe, we buy into the left-right bullshit because they have us divided. Because they have us divided to start with. If we could actually move beyond that and have some kind of like, I know this is going to sound incredibly corny, but this is the main thing that I've been thinking about since I you know, have stopped making shows, is that I want to be in touch with the people, and I want to be doing stuff, but I don't want to be continuing to spread this left-right lie, you know, this fantasy that somehow one or the other is going to save us, because they're not going to. The only chance we have is for us to actually come together and to see beyond the left-right bullshit, that all that really matters is each other. We have to have some kind of a universal love thing. That's this, and I know it sounds ridiculously corny,
No,
but
we've had horrible arguments in the past.
Yeah.
I acknowledge what you're saying.
yeah,
I felt as though at the time that, like, seriously, man, for all, like, I know some Trump guys tune into this station for sure, but, like, dude, that guy was running crazy, okay? And I felt like the political thing to do is stop him. It doesn't stop my push for, you know, Medicare for all. I want elder care. I want child care.
Yeah.
I want community care. I want jobs to stay in this country. I want, just workers.
the government
rights.
to
I
be
want,
about
like,
the people.
I want honest capitalism. I don't want financialized, inflated housing prices that are always based on the ever ascending. I can always find somebody to do an appraisal and run things north. You know what I mean? It's just this fake, cooked up, but yet, oh no, we're the capitalist wing here. We're speaking like we're not socialist. What? We're a mixed economy. You know what I mean? There's just no rational discussion. And I felt like for me, like I had to take a stand, and like I hate Joe Biden, but Donald Trump was running so weird in really painful ways that my vote, I hate Joe Biden.
No,
I voted for Joe.
Look, I hear what you're saying totally, and I hope that you know that I do. It's that what I'm saying is we have to move beyond who voted for what. It doesn't matter. That is completely unimportant, because no matter who you voted for, they're not gonna fucking fix anything that's broken for any of us. Okay, so
Hey, Mark,
yeah,
Mark, you're speaking to me from where I said I hate Joe Biden.
yeah,
But I'm voting for Joe Biden.
right.
You like, hold on, dude. Let's just, you know, let's walk together. Let's jump together in the same car and roll politically on that point. I'm so with you. But you know, with like, I just want, like, that's why I am a, you know, I just want Medicare for all. I just want elder care. I want community care. I want to keep jobs domestically. But it doesn't mean that I want to shit on people from South America, Vietnam, China. I just want, listen, man, we're all stuck on this fucking planet Earth together.
Right.
Can we at least give each other a like what is the basic thing? I understand that is ground zero, but I also understand that if we let people face fuck us along the way, they will face fuck us to like eternity in a bad way. But it's just that they control the destiny and the financial destiny, and they shape everything, and it becomes more of a ego satisfier than it does ever any fucking thing remotely close to the American dream, what they said it should, resemble, versus like, everybody's been sold shitty products before.
Yeah.
We got to quit buying these fake shitty products that we know are shitty products, and that, dude, it's not about fucking MS-13 fucking, they're going to tear apart America as soon as they cross the Rio Grande.
Yeah. No, Joe, that's what I'm saying.
It's not about, like, you know what, like, or somebody, like, saying, yeah, you know what, we don't want Medicare for all. And then there's a big blank spot, because what they're saying is, what we're going to saddle you with is a $7,000 deductible bronze plan, fucking some bullshit plan that's, gives you an opportunity to sit in a phone bank hell for your disputed medical charges. You pay your monthly premium in this, what they say is like some utopia.
Yeah.
Now get the fuck out of here. And all you conservatives out there, for not showing up with like competition in the marketplace, you can eat a fucking dick, okay? Because everybody was waiting for you to show up with Trump Care, bring these prices down. India does open heart surgery for $4,500. When you start rolling in Indian companies into healthcare, I know you're fucking serious about being a capitalist. I'm with you. We can do it both ways, but here's the deal. Everybody, like, no matter which way we turn, you turn Medicare for all, you're going to step on toes. If you let Indian companies come in here, Pakistani companies, and do open heart surgery and Achilles tendon reattachments, dude, they will drop the price immensely. But what we're not going to have, we've got this psychological weirdness going on with, like, like, weird protectionism, but then, like Mexicans, MS-13, everything's just be afraid all the time,
Right.
freak out more.
And Joe, that's what Mox News, that's one of my very consistent messages is not to buy into the fear, no matter what it's been.
You don't.
Yeah, it is not to buy into the fear, because and this is the thing when I talk about this universal love idea, is that there's gang members in Mexico. There's gang members everywhere. That's just the way the world is right now. But we don't focus. We don't make all Mexicans into gang members. We have to say, those are our brothers and sisters, like everybody else is our brothers and sisters. And we have to lift up the whole world so that we can live in a better world. Because if you think you're just going to lift up your world and that's going to work for you, it's really just incredibly short-sighted, I think,
Yeah, absolutely. And it really, we're suspending the human experience when we think we can show up that dumb. And basically, let's talk about that. The human experience, vulnerabilities. You need simple shelter. You need, for advanced communities, you want to get into school. You want to learn how to weld. You want to learn how to do electricity. You want to learn how to build really super insulated houses and be cool. No. Hell no, man. All that has been pushed aside. We're going for, like, just strange, like, focusing on things that are like, don't worry on basic, like, healthcare. What? If you can't go be like 600,000 people in this country that go broke, that
Yeah.
go medically bankrupt.
Yeah.
But yet you're in this fake ass hellscape, fake capitalism, fake, it's consumerism, but through imposed debt schemes, financialization.
Right.
At the time of, like, how would you have a system like this that has education? Like, you mean to tell me that you can't teach calculus on the fucking internet? Like, really, it's repetitive. You get used to doing this, and you can do it. So don't sit here and just say, no, well, Joe, Mike, Mox, you don't have to worry about that. We've got a different technique. It's this heightened awareness. We teach it at Columbia, or New York University. It's hybrid. You wouldn't understand unless you paid the $3.25 a credit. You know what I mean? It's just fake ass stuff that's going on. But here's the deal: everybody knows the importance of, evolution, and capitalism is connected to evolution. It's through product evolution. And like when they just say, "Oh no, Earth is 6,000 years old," no, it's much older, and they know it is. It's where it falls to the discipline of, like, what my elder said versus, like, us getting up and always finding a better day, a better way, and a better, like right now we've got, look at the price of computing, Mox. You guys and all the tech you're sitting on right now, when Craig's running around going crazy and you guys haven't run, cameras and computers and shit for 2 months, that happens. That's a real tech thing, because you guys, what you have in your house right now, you think back to Mox and our age bracket of what it would have been like to have that back in the 80s. Dude, you would not nowhere near have enough money to have that type of technology in your fucking living room. It's a beautiful day, but it doesn't come without complexities and problems, right? And then especially when you got shitty-ass healthcare.
Yeah.
And you guys might be in a position to make money, but now you've got this means-testing healthcare, right? Means-tested healthcare for you to advance when you've got a big channel going on. I'm just like, listen, man, we got, for all the panicking of socialism and all this that I heard, 15 million people lost their fucking health care during this pandemic. There's 15 countries, Norway, Sweden, Germany, England, we can go on. They didn't lose their health care during this downturn.
Right.
Okay? And we're sitting here sucking dick and everybody's waving, American flags. Like, wave that American flag, but have some cerebral understanding behind it. Because the problem is when you get this fucking stupid fucking Archie Bunker that can't fucking just have basic understandings of developed thoughts of, like, how do you take care of a country in healthcare? Simple, like, seriously. Do we have to financialize, that pill, the aspirin you took? Sorry, man, we've got to run calculations on that before we can it doesn't even get down to all the serious stuff that you went through, especially you, Mox. I mean, with us having this conversation right now, it's a major medical thing you went through. When you financialize each and every step and then your future, come on, man.
It just can't be about money. There's just got to be stuff that's bigger than money, and more than that, it's got to be, we have to have priorities in this world, and it's all just going to boil down to making a profit. This is done. This species is finished.
Yeah, man. It is. But yet, this is the struggle, because it's kind of like we're seeing, like, peak Earth, in many ways. Yeah,
it's very close to that situation. But again, it's because we don't have the right priorities, and we're just looking at this all from the wrong angle of, somehow, I got to get mine. You know, and it's just not going to work anymore. You know, it might have worked 200 years ago, 100 years ago. It's just not, you know, we're not in that place anymore, and we have to figure out how to make a better world for the people that are coming behind us. That should be our priority more than anything else. You know, and we do that simply by making a better world that we're living in right now. You know, and wouldn't you like to live in a better world? I mean, when we talk about making a better world for homeless people, or a better world for these people, or a better world for, we're talking about making a better world, you know, and that should just be the priority. We don't have much time left to make that the priority, and we have to find a way. And I just don't see, you know, the politicians. I got another caller, Joe. We're gonna have to cut it in a second, but bringing it back to this left-right thing. The politicians are they go out there with this left-right bullshit, and they debate climate change. Okay, and they act like climate change is this important thing, and it's not. Climate change doesn't matter. What matters is, do humans pollute too much? Okay, and you want to have that ends the climate change argument completely. The problem is, do humans pollute too much? And if they had that argument, you know, if they had that debate, then it wouldn't be there would be a stupid side, you know. because
yeah, absolutely. Hey, well, I'll jump off on this point. You know, I know there's 5 big collection points from floating garbage that are like the size of Texas off the the north coast of Hawaii. You know, if we were paying attention to what you just got done talking about, we wouldn't have garbage patches in 5 collection points on Earth that are the size of Texas. I've driven across the state of Texas.
It's a big place.
It's a never-ending thing, man. It's 1,000+ miles, and when you think about it like that, you know. So, anyways, here on that point, Mike, stay healthy, and Craig, shout out to you. You know, just. You know, be good to yourself, man, and just find a balance, bro, for us out here. You're a great voice, and, you know, just, I know you got a lot to say, so anyways, I'm going to jump off.
Yeah, Joe, hey, Joe, thanks a lot for calling. It's really good to talk to you, and for me, you know, the last few weeks, it's really just been about, you know, getting the dog through this, but mostly on top of that is I just don't want to come back and do the same stuff. If this is, you know, if this is the end of the my time, you know, then I want to make it worthwhile, and I don't want to come back out here and try and somehow preach this left-right shit, because, you know, I come out here day after day and I say I don't have a side. Both the sides to me are exactly the same. And when I do that, it doesn't seem to tap into an audience where there's like, yeah, Mike, you know, this, and what we have to do is we have to recognize what the priority is, and the left right isn't it. Well, the priority is the people, and by buying into this left right thing, all we do is divide the people, and that's not going to help us at all.
Mike, you're still going to have a center point, though. You're going to have to, like, weigh in policy issue. Don't worry about the left-right. Worry about the right policy. Don't tune out, tune in. Policy will deliver us from that weirdo left-right paradigm that you speak of. I'm with you. But we can't unplug from... you know, capitalism. We're going to have to do capital shifts. We're going to have to realign capital. We're going to have to, you know, assign capital in a different way. Not psychological capital from the right-left paradigm, but in a what's right paradigm. Speak for, you know, we the people, this planet, ecosystems, things like that. You know, when we do policy decisions like that, you know, we'll you know, we can make a difference, man. But you're right, man. We got to get out of that boogeyman scenario. So, dude, I'm going to jump off. You are awesome. Stay healthy. And Craig, shout out, and we'll catch up to y'all later.
All right, it's good to hear from you, Joe. Stay cool, man.
Peace, Mike.
It's our buddy Joe from Arizona. Nice to hear from Joe. And that's just where we're at. As I know it sounds corny, but I've been thinking about this a lot, and I really want to shift this thing from this kind of like politics is bad, the people in politics are bad, to this love thing, because we're not accomplishing anything with the politics. And it's not that I haven't accomplished anything over the last 17 years here on YouTube. It's that the politics isn't going to go anywhere. It's just not. And after doing this fight, because I've been doing this fight a lot longer than there's been a YouTube, and after doing this fight for so long, I can just see, even if we were able to move beyond this Democrat-Republican thing and get actual Green Party or libertarians in charge of the Senate, then it's just going to be those people for sale, and those people selling us out, and those people, they're just going to be the new Republicans or Democrats. And, say hello to the new boss, same as the old boss, as the saying goes. Hello, caller.
Hey, how's it going? Breaking the Flaw here. That's with an F. How
Right.
are you? I've been a long-time subscriber. I've been watching you for years.
Right on. Well, thanks a lot for calling. It's good to hear from you.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you were talking about just now, because I was talking with your tech guy in the background, and we had some interesting conversations.
Craig has a lot of interesting things to say.
Yeah, cool. I'm one of those first-amendment auditors, right? They go out there and record the police and that sort of thing.
Awesome.
But I also I test all these mask mandates, and if you're still wearing a mask and you smoke weed, why? Why?
Why can you finish the thought for us so we can all understand?
Sure. It's so let me ask you, if you put that mask on, can you smell other people smoking weed? And if you can, then there's no point of you wearing a mask.
Oh, okay. Well, the mask doesn't protect you. I mean, that's what I've always said all along. These masks that people are wearing, these masks here are not designed to protect you. This mask is designed to protect other people, so it's a matter of, if that's what you want to do. And for me, also in my personal opinion, honestly, the main reason for the mask is to spread continuous fear. And my big message.
Oh, you're right on that.
Yeah, and to make clear who it is you're supposed to be afraid of, which is your neighbors, and not the Russians, not the Chinese. It's your fucking neighbors. They're gonna kill you, because they're not wearing masks. What the fuck is wrong with those people?
The irony in the mask that you're wearing. Is it like a beautiful vendetta mask?
Yeah, it's a Guy Fawkes mask. Yeah. Craig has those printed. I think Craig has a link to where you can get those if you want to get one.
No, I don't. Not at all. I'd rather wear the V mask and then take my chances of not getting shot.
Yeah. I do like the Guy Fawkes mask. I always have. And I love that movie. If you guys
know the corporate symbol, I still love it.
if you guys have not seen that movie, you're really missing out. Or if you haven't seen it for some time, I highly recommend that you watch it again. It's an amazing flick.
Especially with the climate that we have right now, right?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
What was the theme? I'm not going to spoil the movie, but the theme was that there was this deadly virus, and that's
Right.
the reason for all these lockdowns and curfews.
Right. And I brought that up a lot at the beginning of this virus. I said this is what this V for Vendetta is all about. Is about the government spreading a virus. Is about the fear that the media never-endingly spreads, and how the government hypes that kind of media. It's a brilliant fucking movie. And if you haven't seen it, you're truly missing out.
If I was V, I'd hack your stream and put it on all the mainstream media television outlets for at least 5 minutes.
that would definitely be interesting. You got to catch me at the right minute, though, bro.
Exactly. But I've been getting a lot of shiz for for not wearing a mask, or no, you can't come in here. This is a private establishment. No, it's not. This is City Hall.
Mm.
Why are you telling me to leave? Oh, I'm telling you to leave because you're not wearing a mask. Can you show me where I'm obligated to wear that mask? It's more about the tyranny in it, and like the contact tracing. They're getting everyone used to contact tracing, so that way when they come out with the app, if the state doesn't already have it, that you're not going to have a problem with being tracked everywhere.
Which are already being tracked everywhere.
Sure, but
it's the consent part that they're really after. They want you to say, yeah, go ahead, that's fine. We want you to track us. We want to know what's going on. You know, that's what they're really looking for.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's the consent of the governed, and if you give up that, and we all know what governing is, it's control. Right? You're giving them control.
Right. Governing is basically, they're saying, you need to be babysat. That's what governing is. Governing is saying that we can't trust you to go out and make decisions for yourself as an adult, as a conscious, self-conscious, a self-aware being. We can't trust you to make your own decisions, so we're going to make those decisions for you so that we can all get along together, or whatever.
It's like in one of my videos, you're talking about babysitting. In one of my videos, I go up to a supervisor in Manchester, New Hampshire, and I'm like, hey, don't you feel like you're just kind of like a professional babysitter?
Yeah.
And he's like, he starts laughing, like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
That was perfect timing.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like all these drunk people leaving a club, and I think it's responsibility of the club and the bouncers to make sure that these people don't leave obliterated to the point where they have to stop these people on the street later on, which is another video of mine, basically, 4 Manchester thugs going up on a blonde young girl, and I made sure my camera was rolling, and that's my Thanksgiving special. You guys want to have some laughs, go check out the Thanksgiving special.
Right on. It sounds like you do very interesting work, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I tried to. I don't know, one of the guys in your stopping grounds, son of Hightower. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yeah, I have.
He's pretty good. He's been covering a lot of the protests in there. And
Yeah, he was all over he was all over the chop, I'm pretty sure.
Well, man, hey, thank you very much for letting me come on.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Oh, well, I look forward to talking to you again soon, so come back anytime.
Thanks, man. Peace.
See ya.
Peace out. Keep smoking that good herb.
Yeah, I'm doing my best, bro. I just recently actually been able to start smoking again. I probably in the last week started taking puffs again. It's that's why I was saying I can probably only do 1 puff here tonight with you guys. Is I'm taking like 2 puffs a day right now. But it's really, and I have to say, I'm very lucky when I talk about the hard time that I'm having. I'm very, very lucky. Okay, my dog, my beautiful Boo Bear, is come through his surgery, and his prognosis is very good, and which means that I get to stay with him for another 10 years. So that was my most important thing, that I just wanted him to be okay, but I also have these friends, who come over and help me walk my dog, Craig helps me make sure the dogs get walked. My friend Sam comes over. If I have to go to a doctor's appointment, they make sure I get to the doctor's appointment. I'm very, very, very lucky. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mike, it's Brandon, man.
Hey, Brandon, how you doing, bro?
Hey, you know what? When I see you pop up, I damn near dropped shit to log in and call your ass, man.
Right on.
I miss y'all.
Right on, Brandon. I miss you too, bro. That's sounds like you got a house full.
Well, the girls are popping popcorn. That's
nice. The good life. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But yeah, man. But listen, you know what? I totally agree with you on what you were saying about changing just the dialogue, because it's so exhausting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like my wife said. She was like, like with this last election and that presidency, it was just exhausting. Like your typical average man shouldn't wake up in the morning while he's shaving, shitting, and showering, have to worry about a tweet from the president, and by the time he takes his lunch break, or her, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's another fucking tweet. Then while they drive it home, listen to the radio, it's another fucking tweet. And right before they go bed, it's another fucking tweet. It was just exhausting. So I agree with you and 100% of changing the platform. But the good stuff is that, the Congress passed a bill about weed, which is excellent.
It does seem like good news, huh?
And you know what it does? It's like I was telling your guy, it's like you got now the Senate, because it's the Senate, it's controlled by the Republicans, they got to deal with the elephant in the room when it comes to marijuana.
Right.
Period. And if they don't, then they're going to lose those voters. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not just a matter of marijuana. It's a matter of of freedom. Exactly.
Yeah.
And they talk. They all like to wear this freedom chip on their shoulder and talk about how all our veterans fight for our freedom. And then they want to go and say, no, you people have to be babysat over this shit. Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, listen. I was in the gas station today, and this guy walked in, and the manager was like, "Hey, sir, you got a mask?" And of course, he didn't want to put a mask on, right? But a lady was like, "Hey," she was leaving the gas station. She said, "Look, I'll give you a mask out one in my car." But he came in there on the purpose that this is my freedom. I'll take the chance not to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like people, in certain states, Mike, you ain't got to wear a motorcycle helmet.
Yeah.
In certain states you do, because Americans love freedom. Now, it's debatable when my freedom costs you your life, or any freedom does, but yeah. I mean, that's like telling the Germans that you have to go 55 miles per hour on the Autobahn.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it. That's their freedom. It's no speed limit. If you've ever been to Germany or whatever. But that's good. Now it's just if they want to bring it. But hey, talk about something off topic, because you want to get off the left and right. Did you pay attention to what happened last week and the past 2 weeks about Dave Chappelle and Netflix and Comedy Central?
No, I honestly didn't hear anything about that. What happened with Dave Chappelle?
Well, a while back, Dave Chappelle went to Comedy Central, where when he was a young comedian, he signed away his rights to whatever the case, the bad contract for the Dave Chappelle show.
Uh-huh.
And Dave Chappelle has did all these comedy specials on Netflix.
Yeah.
So then Comedy Central does the contract with Netflix to put the Chappelle show on Netflix.
Wow.
But Dave Chappelle wouldn't get no money out the deal.
Yeah, wow.
Dave Chappelle, Dave Chappelle and Netflix, they signed like a $60, $50, $80 million deal, right, beforehand for his stand-up, his special hours or whatever.
Yeah.
So Dave Chappelle said that he called his manager said, "Dave, legally, there ain't nothing you can do." So he just called the Netflix people up, talked to the executives, and they just canceled the contract and pulled off the Chappelle show, which is amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think.
That's like.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, but he was like, "Listen, if you wanted to come back on, then pay me. Give me what's fair."
Yeah.
And he was like, "That's why I fuck with Netflix." And what it does, it lets you know the power of one person that a company believes in them or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they say, yeah, this guy's getting screwed. Y'all, we're going to take it out. Y'all work this out, and we'll put it right back on. Not a problem for us.
Yeah.
You know, because, but like if you ever go on YouTube and there's like a Comedy Central, Dave Chappelle little skit, he don't get no money off that shit, man.
Huh.
You know, but it was good how he challenged something like that, and a company that's on the stock market and their shareholders agreed with him that he was getting screwed, and they wasn't worried about a profit off of people watching that show off of Netflix.
Yeah, that seems pretty amazing that, like you said, that one guy was able to make such a big difference. Honestly, what seems amazing is that a giant corporation like Netflix would care about somebody getting screwed. You know what I mean? Who cares about that? We don't. But that's pretty awesome.
It's and there's other things out there, where people have spoken up and certain corporations have backed them, and they have caught shit for it. Nike did it with Colin Kaepernick. They caught shit for it, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Because I think what you're getting at is sometimes stuff gets too political. It gets too taxing on our souls, on our psyche, and then physically. With everything.
Honestly, Brandon, I agree with that 100%. But what I'm getting at is no matter how much effort we put into believing in some politician and getting the right politician in there, I no longer believe that that's going to make a difference. And we can do a lot more with our we should value our energy a lot more than just spending it on something that's not going to make a difference anymore. We have to start making a difference.
You know what? That's why we got cable cut off.
Huh.
Yeah, so we just have the internet, and we have our apps on our smart TVs, and all, we got smart TVs all through the house, in the kids' rooms, and
right
stuff
on.
like that. So
right
if they want to watch Disney Plus, whatever they want to watch, the apps on the TV, everyone knows how to work it.
Yeah, do you have
I don't want to support the commercials.
Do you have a channel called Tubi?
Yeah. We do on the main TV downstairs,
yeah.
And we have the antenna that you just screw into the back and like sit beside your TV or whatever.
Yeah.
Or it sticks to the window, and we get all the local. We
right
got
on.
probably 60 to 80 channels.
There's a movie on the Tubi app called Unleashed, and it's a dog movie. It's really cute, and I bet it's one of those ones you can watch with the family, and everybody will love it. So.
Okay.
Yeah, Unleashed. If you get a chance, it's this girl's dog and cat turn into the perfect men.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, man. I mean, but shit. I mean, fucking. I'm just glad you're back, man. I missed you. I miss like just hearing the people call in that's passionate about what they believe in.
Yeah.
And you give them a platform to talk about certain things. And stuff like that. And since you're an animal lover, we got since the last time I talked to you, we got a new addition to the family. We got we bought a Pomeranian.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and and she's like, well, now she's 4 pounds, but she was a puppy. She went about 3 months now. And, she weighed like, 2 pounds when we got her. Now she's pretty much 4 pounds, and she ain't gonna get no bigger.
Right on.
And my 70-pound dog, Clay.
Nice.
She dislocated her knee.
Oh.
But she was able to put it back in place herself, and we took her to the vet on that. And then the other night, I was standing up and she was sitting in my lap, and I was holding her. She, catapulted herself on the floor because she's dangerous, and she dislocated the other fucking knee.
Oh, man.
And, man, this little bitch cost me $400 a day at the vet.
Yeah.
Just on x-rays, so we don't know what's wrong. But, yeah, man, but, we love our animals. And you know, if everyone just be safe this holiday season, we find what the fuck's going on, and we can go from there, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's like I'm saying. We got to stop with all this, this side, that side bullshit, because neither one of those sides are on our side. They're not on the side of the people. There's what holding the people down by dividing us. The people have to come together, and whether you see it as Americans or humans or whatever, earthlings. I don't care. It's not the people that are evil. It's not that the Russians are bad or the Iranians are bad. It's that the governments are fucking evil, and for whatever reason we're buying into somehow, if we had the right government it would work. No, it's not going to work. The only thing that's going to work is the people coming together and saying what matters is us, and everything else is bullshit. And because what matters is you and your neighbor and your neighbor's neighbor. Everything else, anything that's being done in Washington D.C. is complete bullshit, and they are not looking out for us in any way, other than the slightest little way that they can do in order to make it appear as if they might be on our side. They just may be on this one issue,
Yeah, well, it's all a power grab. It's a money grab. I mean, if you really look at it, look at Rush Limbaugh, the biggest voice on radio, right? And you've got terminal cancer.
Yeah.
So now you got Fox News losing ratings because they called an election. So there's going to be a power grab, to where like Rush Limbaugh, Fox News, they created all this whatever. If someone likes the chaos, that's fine. I don't really like it, But now there's a power grab. Rush is going to be dead. My mother died of lung cancer a few years ago. It's a wrap. And then it's going to be a rush. Well, who's going to replace them and what type of platform? And the same with Fox News. And people, I mean, if you got 80-something million voting one way, 73, 74 voting the other way, it is a perfect opportunity to put a platform out there to do a big money grab. And that's all people care about. They don't care about being a good person. They care about money grab.
Well, the people in power, that seems to be all they care about is acquiring more for themselves, more power, more wealth. And it's so strange to me to see these people donating to Donald Trump at this point, hundreds of millions of dollars, and the guy is a billionaire, according to him. Which means that if he wants to go and spend hundreds of millions of dollars on stuff, he can go and do that. He doesn't need your money. We're in this time of desperation. All these people, are losing their businesses, losing their jobs, losing their homes, and we're donating hundreds of millions of dollars to a billionaire? Who does this make sense to?
You know what? It's just like those pastors. Those certain I don't even know if they're evangelical pastors, but the ones who do all the the radio, the TV, and say, send me this $100,000 check.
Well, they're every kind of pastor. I mean, that seems to be what the gospel is mostly about. Is again, what can I get? I get a flock together, and I get that flock to give me money every day.
Yeah, but. It's sad, but it's amazing to how many people buy into it. Like I've never seen anything like this, and I was one of the first ones that invaded Iraq. During the invasion, and you see the propaganda, the big statues of Saddam Hussein. The fucking paintings all over the fucking place, in all the small towns, like that, like a historical whatever, and the propaganda, and it just kind of tells you that a lot of people, I think, in this country, they're just not proud of themselves. So they have to put their faith in something else that's going to fix their issues, you know. But in order, you got to first fix the issue yourself if you physically and mentally can, you know. And
well, this is the way they've been trained, Brandon. You know, I mean, they've been trained and programmed this way, so they, you know, and that's the biggest thing, you know, is it's just all this programming to you know, to make you not who you are, to make you into this sheep, this manageable, you know. And we have to respect people for being individuals. I can't stand conformity. I just fucking hate it, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, believe me, I was on it for 20 years, and I wore the same clothes that everybody else did every year, had the same haircut every year, shaved every day, boom, boom, bam, you know, did what I was told to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't have that freedom of speech at that point, you know, to say, well, I disagree.
Yeah.
Or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I really, it's going to be a big power grab, you know, but yeah.
It always is that, you know, during a transition there's always a big power grab. I think right now with everything being kind of all cray, you know, there's a good chance it's gonna be bigger, or you know, there's more things at stake, let's say, than usual during a usual transition. So you're right. There's gonna be people grabbing for power that we don't even know exist.
Let me ask you this: with the voter turnout, and I don't want to talk about, I know what you're talking about politics, and you know, you were trying to branch away from that.
No, we can talk about any. No, Brent, look. I want to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I just want you to understand, I'm not going to focus on this news stuff anymore. I can't do the news. The news is just so full of shit at this point. I can't be part of it. You know what I mean? I can't. It's always been full of shit, and it's always been, for me, it's always been very important to point out, you know, look how they're lying about the war. You know, all this is based on lies, and you know, that's always been so important to me, because I don't want people being killed in my name with my tax dollars in the good name of America, you know, on lies. You know, and if that's what's happening, I want to make sure and try and point that out so that people can recognize and not buy into, not be blinded into this, you know, Kool-Aid drinking propaganda, you know, like you're talking about, Brandon.
Yeah, you know, oh shit, where do you think it's going to go when it comes to the like how much crazier is it going to get? Because now I listen to Rush Limbaugh, like when I get in my vehicle and I drive somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I don't listen to music. I listen to the Only Talk Radio, and I live in Missouri, so it's only Bible channels and it's Rush Limbaugh.
Well, don't you like music?
To be honest, no.
Okay.
Yes, but not in my car.
Okay.
Because I don't know what type of song's going to come on. I got a 7-year-old. I got a 10-year-old little girl.
Sure. Yeah.
My son knows the deal, and my older daughters, they're grown. You know, but
you don't care. But you don't care what they're hearing from Rush Limbaugh. I mean, and my point being, Brandon, is that I was riding in the car with my mom one time, and she was listening to Rush Limbaugh, and Rush Limbaugh was explaining to his listeners that fish, the reason that there's no fish in rivers that are polluted is because the fish are smart enough to stay away from rivers that are polluted. And I looked at my mom and I said, Mom, do you really believe that fish are smart enough to stay away from polluted rivers? You know, what is this guy telling you? You know, and that's again, that comes back to this programming thing, and that's the only reason I asked you. You say you're worried about the kids. You know, I mean, you're not playing ice. You're not playing the insane clown posse in your car or whatever. You know.
Nah, but it's,
Who's going chicken hunting? We going chicken hunting.
right? Well, I look at it like I just want to know what they're thinking, and knowing their next move.
Sure. That's when I first started doing the YouTube. A couple of really big news websites came to me and said, "Hey, we're doing these projects. Can you help us?" And I said, "Sure." And they literally, when I started posting videos on their website, they're like, "Why are you posting all this Pentagon propaganda shit?" And I'm like, "Well, you know what they say about keeping your enemies close." You know, is you have to know who these people are. You have to know what they're saying in order for you to be able to, like, not to come out of left field. You know, so I understand listening to both sides. I completely get that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I would like since he's pretty much on borrowed time,
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
I would like to know what he tells the American people when he does his last final broadcast. You know, like, does he say he's sorry for saying fishes leave polluted rivers because they know better? Or either a woman can be raped, but her body will reject the semen.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, come on. You know, or either maybe black people are really smart as white people. You know.
Yeah.
And will he make a statement that will, you know, just make him feel better before he goes in front of judgment? Since he's a Republican, he has to believe in Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But the good thing is he never had kids. So, yeah.
Well.
Which is a sad way to put it. I shouldn't say this.
You know.
Look,
I hear you. It's good to know that the bloodline stops there. I hear you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if it wasn't, you got to do them like they did them babies in 300, throw them off the mountain. This motherfucker got a cleft lip. You got to go. Or either you got the asshole gene. Can you imagine if you did like a 23andMe or an Ancestry kit, and it was like you got the asshole gene?
Yeah, no, I can't. It's difficult for me to imagine doing that, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, but look, Mike, I'm glad you're back, brother. I'm still listening, and I'll make sure I make a donation night for y'all guys. Okay, man?
Well, you're always super generous, Brandon. So thank you very much. I really super appreciate it, and I'm really glad to hear from you, and I'm glad to hear that your family's staying strong during these uncertain times.
Uncertain, yeah, right? All right, brother. You take care, man.
Okay, we'll call back soon, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's our buddy, 2 Bronze Star Brandon. And it's always nice to hear from him. He was one of the first on the ground in Iraq. And he earned his free speech. There is no doubt. So, hoorah, son. All right, so I think we're getting close to bong hit time. And so one of the things, like the only thing that's really been consistent about the doctors, right? When I've been going to the doctor since I visited the hospital. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mike, how are you doing tonight?
I am okay. How are you, Chris?
I'm okay as well. It's good to see you. Good to see your face and hear your voice on the YouTube. Very much. I know a lot of people are glad to see your presence tonight.
I know. I was really glad to see you in the chat room right away too, Chris.
Yeah, thank you. So it's so they gave you some medication. The doctor, the neurologist, gave you some medication.
Yeah.
Is there a chance if you're feeling kind of zonked? I mean, is he going to adjust that dose over time? Is that what the program is? Is he giving you something to determine how much you need of this drug?
I'm not sure exactly. They know that this is probably one of the best medications to contain what's happening, and that seems to be the main concern at the moment. I tell you, when I went to see the neurologist, I told him that when I went to see the general practitioner, that one of the first things she said to me was that the medication they have you on is a very strong medication, and they have you on a very large dose. And he said, "What was this doctor's name?" He was like, "I want to know who that person is and where she works at, because she is really overstepping her limit." But
Like she's not a specialist.
Yeah.
She has no business making a judgment call
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, that's obviously bad luck getting a bad general practitioner. But if you're feeling a little zombified, you need to let that obviously you have to let him know how you feel after taking the medication for a couple of weeks, and then it's possible they can adjust it. But I've had friends from my teenage years, several of them who've had epilepsy, and watched them through parts of their life, and they adapt very well. Once you're on medication and they understand what the problem is, it typically works, and you live a completely normal life.
Yeah.
You don't drive anyway.
Yeah.
I know, so you're not going to drive a car into a stoplight or hit a person in a car. So you don't have to worry about that. You're better off than so many other people on that score who are workers who are diagnosed with epilepsy, and then they have to quit their job because they can no longer drive.
I'm really lucky, Chris. I come home and everything's there, and I can just there's a tray of marijuana brownies waiting for me, and it's just like, I can't imagine people who are like having to go through something like this, and they don't have people around them to help them, and they don't have basic medicine, because it would be really, really rough, dude. If I didn't have Craig's help, if I didn't have Sam's help, I'd be really very, very unhappy right now. And I can tell you that I'm not unhappy. I feel I'm very happy. I'm very happy about my dog being better. Very happy that I have such good people around me. I'm very, very lucky. So it's not that I'm feeling sorry for myself or angry or anything like that.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. And I said earlier in chat, I'm just really glad that there was a diagnosis and you're aware of it, because it's that stress. Like I mentioned to you earlier in the year, I was concerned about skin cancer. I found several moles that just did not look right, and I was really concerned about it. And the stress from just not knowing whether I had, some aggressive form of skin cancer or not really was just intense. Thinking about, that's not cool. From what I've been reading, this cancer can spread very quickly.
Yeah.
So to discover that it wasn't what I thought it was, and to have, a dermatologist look at it and reassure me that it isn't what it was, really just helped me a lot. But I had the same exact experience that you had, and I think I told you about this, where I went to the doctor, and then all of a sudden it's like, they're trying to give me high blood pressure medicine.
Yeah.
They're asking me about all of these different cancer screens. They're talking to me in a condescending manner.
Yeah.
Like I'm a child, and treating me relatively rudely, and not really like a human being or any kind of, awareness that I'm not really comfortable in hospitals or doctors' offices.
Yeah.
Not taking any of that into consideration. All these bright fluorescent lights everywhere, just this horrible place. So I empathize with you, and I'm sorry you had to go to the practitioner, but you have to go through the GP to get to the specialist.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it works. And I guess the key is try to find a good doctor if you can.
Yeah.
In the first score, I don't have a regular doctor, so it was all kind of random, through
Right.
Medicare, or Medicaid, but it worked, and I'm grateful for the system. And so many Americans have, whatever they say, have died from COVID-19, and I think that one of the reasons why American numbers are higher than they are in all of these other countries around the world is we just don't have a healthcare system in this country. We don't offer basic health care to people. So people have a lot of comorbidities, is what they call them, right? Pre-existing conditions that when they get sick, they get really fucking sick.
Right.
Well, if we had a healthcare system and people weren't afraid of going to the doctor because their insurance rates were going to go up, or afraid of going to the doctor because they're going to be in debt for the next 20 years, or afraid of going to the doctor, because for a variety of reasons, well, then maybe people would be getting better advice, like about their lifestyle choices, or they'd have their illnesses diagnosed sooner. And you think about all the money that's just spent on advertising, on CNN and Fox News, and the major media, promoting pharmaceutical drugs. Like advertising is a huge part of the big pharma's expenditures. What if all that money, instead of being spent for advertising on television to push drugs, was actually spent providing health care to people in the United States? Because so many people don't have access to a regular doctor in this country,
Yeah, I see. It's not just the pharmaceuticals either. It's also the insurance companies. What I see is, I see almost more insurance company ads on television than anything else, and they're the most ridiculous ads. They have a fucking talking lizard telling you about what insurance to buy. Or
a football player. Talking to you about how to take care of your health.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
There you go.
It's so strange. I pointed this out with the pharmaceutical commercials when they're advertising this new drug or that new drug that you need. That they do it with cartoon characters so much. I mean, who fucking takes the advice of a cartoon character that, I gotta ask my doctor about this new drug? Who does that fucking brain, whose brain does that work in, It's just mind-blowing to me.
Well, I did want to take a couple of minutes to talk about this historic moment, which is the title of your video, of your program tonight, A Huge Day for Freedom. And I mean, it is a pretty big deal. It's a big deal symbolically, right? It's going to be a big deal symbolically, it reminded me of. Do you remember that story, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
I remember the title. I don't know that I can remember the story right at the moment.
So in the story, it's kind of like it was written by a Christian author, and Aslan is a lion who kind of symbolizes Christ, right?
Okay.
And in the movie, 4 children stumble through like a Victorian wardrobe, and then they do it, they do it separately. But as they go through the wardrobe, they fall into this like fantasy land called Narnia.
Oh, okay, right? Narnia. Yeah, I remember. I've seen the Narnia. I've seen at least one of them.
So I wanted to read something really quickly, and this is a quote from the book. It says, and the girl's name is Lucy, and she meets a fawn, right, half deer, half human, and she says, pleased to meet you, Mr. Thomas. I'm Lucy Pevenissy. And then she says, what's not all bad? Because the little fawn lets her know that they have not had Christmas for 100 years. And then the girl says, no presents for 100 years? And the fawn says, it's always winter, never Christmas. It's been a long winter. And then at the end of the story, the lion comes, and then the winter of the White Witch fades away and springtime comes back. And kind of like, whatever, symbolic of Easter. But the reason I thought of this afternoon is this is what reminds me of like what's been going on with the drug war, right? Because marijuana was made illegal like in the first states were like California in 1906, 1907, and then there were like 20 states out west, and then states all across the United States started putting restrictions and banning cannabis, and it all was this like overreaction to opioid deaths in the late 1900s when they started regulating medicines. And cannabis got kind of regulated with all of these other medicines. And this all happened about 100 years ago. And it seems like the dark winter of prohibition is gradually fading away. It's gradually, but it's a little like kicks and, just a little bit gradually we're moving in the right direction. Like the bill that was, or the initiative that was passed in Oregon, right?
Yeah.
That decriminalized possession of small amounts of drugs. That was kind of a breakthrough moment. And all indications are it would have happened in Washington State if we would have gotten the initiative on the ballot. We would have probably gotten the same results here in Washington State, and the legislature here in Olympia might be dealing with that in the next year. It's like on their list of shit to do, decriminalize drugs. So that's a good thing. And then, of course, today, the House of Representatives, in a historic move, decided to end federal marijuana prohibition. And that's the lead article at Stop the Drug War. And I'd like to summarize this quickly because I didn't see a clip earlier. I missed the first 10 minutes. But the act was called the MORE Act, and it would effectively end federal pot prohibition by removing marijuana from the Controlled Substances Act list of scheduled substances and eliminating federal criminal penalties for its possession, cultivation, and sale. The bill would not affect state laws that criminalize marijuana, but it would end the conflict between states that have already legalized marijuana and the federal law. The bill also includes strong social equity provisions, including the creation of a fund to support programs and services for communities devastated by the war on drugs, a provision for expungement of past federal marijuana offenses, and a provision that bars the federal government from discriminating against people for marijuana use, which would protect immigrants from being deported for past marijuana convictions and would ensure that earned benefits are not denied to marijuana users. The historic vote marks the first time either Chamber of Commerce has voted to end marijuana prohibition, but there is virtually, of course, no chance the Republican-led Senate will take up, let alone approve the measure in the remaining days of the session, meaning the battle is a battle that will continue in the next Congress. So that's kind of the background, right? But it's kind of like also this political game that's going on, and I don't like that aspect of it, but I guess that's how shit gets done in a duopoly, is they have to fucking play each other. And so there's these 2 Senate seats in Georgia, and if the Democrats win both of those Senate seats, they will have 51 votes in the Senate, and that will enable them, if they act as a single bloc, to pass this legislation, which definitely creates the incentive for the masses like you and I to get really angry and hope that the Democrat wins that Senate race in Georgia, right? It creates this anticipation for that. And that's part of the reason why the Congress acted in unison. I guess there were I think the vote was 228 to 166 or something.
That sounds about right, yeah.
And it was 5 Republicans crossed and six Democrats went one way and 5 Republicans went the other way. But it essentially was along these lines, these duopoly lines. And I like I said earlier, I think Trump really failed us on this one, right? I mean, he could have won the election for himself had he wanted, and he could have majorly pushed the Republican Party way forward by saying, as president, I want legalization of marijuana right now. I know that you may not agree with me on this, but trust me, in the long run, this would be most beneficial to our party, in terms of engendering support with the people.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and not only that, it's a proper usage of funds, resources and all that. Go ahead.
Yeah, he didn't do it at all. And then, so he had an opportunity, and he didn't do it. And
I agree 100%, by the way. He would have easily been reelected if he had simply signed an executive order saying, we're decriminalizing marijuana at this point.
It would have proven that he isn't a right-wing nut. It would have kind of highlighted his ability to cross over and accept one of the issues from the other side, one that is important to us and other people, cannabis users and people in jail, but to the general public is kind of overshadowed. He could have grabbed that issue and ran with it, and it would have benefited him. But he didn't do it. He also could have done it on the stimulus check, and he could have also done it on national health care. He had 2 or 3 opportunities, and he would have killed it. He would have told it. And not that I feel great about that. I just dislike Joe Biden a lot. And I also do not like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But from just an objective perspective, I think Trump could have done it if he would have done one of those 3 things.
Yeah, well, if Obama had done it, okay, what people kind of neglect to understand is that Obama was such a shitty fucking president that fucking Donald Trump, the clown buffoon, was elected because they didn't want to fucking continue this Obama legacy bullshit. because he was such a shitty president. Okay, if Obama had done, if in the first couple of years of the terms as president, his first term of president, when a black mother was brave enough to stand up in a town hall meeting and say, wouldn't legalization of marijuana be an answer to a lot of these problems we're having right now? And he laughed in her fucking face. Okay, if he said, I don't think marijuana is the answer to all of our problems. And no, but it's answer to a couple of problems, really big problems.
Yeah, it is.
And
criminal justice reform, that's a pretty big deal.
Right, and if he had just, which he was not on the side of at all, if he had just done that, if he had just said right then, second year of his term, it would have been so clear that he had done something for not just the people, but the black community. Not because the black community smokes marijuana exorbitantly, but because they're punished for it exorbitantly. So if he would have been, there's a chance that if he had done this in the first couple of years of his presidency, the organization Black Lives Matter wouldn't even have been founded, which was founded on his watch, because all he did was bolster the police state. So and also, I don't think Donald Trump would have ever been elected in the first place. If he had just had the balls to, again, do what's right for the people and say, we're done punishing people for smoking weed. I did it, Bush did it, Clinton did it, everybody does it, but just the poor people get punished for it. We're done with that.
I think Barack Obama might have even sold a couple of bags of weed in California. I'm not kidding.
I wouldn't doubt it at all.
He was in high school
Yeah.
in Hawaii, and then when he was in college in California for 2 years, I mean, that's when there's these, this evidence of him being a pot smoker. But I'm sure he actually sold some weed, in quotation marks as well. And the other thing about Obama is he had both houses of Congress in his control, the House and the Senate. So, and with his support as the president, head of the administration, he could have pushed through the legislation if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Especially a legislation that over 50% of the general population supports.
Right.
And that was legalizing marijuana or decriminalizing marijuana and allowing states to adopt their own policies. Either or, the federal government making that statement is a huge deal, and that is why these people at the Marijuana Public Policy Project and the people at NORML and the people at Stop the Drug War are so happy today, is because it's been 100 years, like I said, since these laws were first enacted in the United States and on a federal level since the 1930s. And and now we can see that the times are changing. That cheesy Bob Dylan song, the times are fucking changing, and people are aware of it. We can see it. And it's slowly happening, and it gives me a light of hope.
10 years ago, 10% of the people who voted today to pass marijuana decriminalization would have voted for it, because back then it was this stigmatization, and again they're like Donald Trump. Oh, we love our police state. We got to bolster our police state. So I hear you, Chris.
Yeah, so on Wednesday, the United Nations also reclassified cannabis, and it's no longer considered, and they consider it no longer to be a risky narcotic. And this was a commission on narcotic drugs from the United Nations, and in a vote, 27 in favor, 25 against, and 1 abstention, this committee opened the door to recognizing the potential therapeutic use of cannabis, which is, again, remember, after World War II, the United States and Europe and France and Britain were responsible for creating the United Nations. And we pushed our anti-drug laws on the world and made sure that every country in the world had these real draconian drug laws on the books. That was part of our imperial project, a way to promote Big Pharma and shit. So just like in the United States, we see the tide turning. Around the world, we're starting to see this tide turning as well. And so it says that currently more than 50, this is from the UnitedNations.org, their newswire, says currently more than 50 countries have adopted medical cannabis programs. Canada, Uruguay, and 15 American states have legalized recreational use. Mexico and Luxembourg are about ready to go. So, again, it looks encouraging. The interesting thing about that UN vote is that the United States did vote to remove cannabis from the Schedule 4 list of the convention. But it also said this, and this was from the UN.org's website. It said, the United States government said, it is consistent with the science demonstrating that while a safe and effective cannabis-derived therapeutic has been developed, cannabis itself continues to pose significant risk to public health and should continue to be controlled under the International Drug Control Convention. And then Japan, the government of Japan also said that the non-medical use of the plant, quote, might give rise to negative health and social impacts, especially among the young. But of course we know that the teenage drug use, teenage use of cannabis has decreased in states that have legalized cannabis. So that is bullshit that it's going to increase negative health and have negative social impacts among the young, because fewer young people will use cannabis if it's legal. And that seems to be what the evidence indicates.
I agree. That's what I see happening with the like in Colorado. I know that they made a big deal about teen use dropping, teen cannabis use. So you know, this is the thing. Again, this is when you tell people you can't do that. You know, they're gonna be like, you're not the boss of me, especially a teenager. You know. So it makes it more interesting when you're saying you better stay away from that. They're like, well, why should I stay away from it? I better find out.
Yeah, they're much more likely to hide their behavior too. So
right.
You don't actually know what they're doing, instead of just being aware of like, ooh, you know, and then being able to have a conversation with them about, you know, are you doing too much? Are you doing it too frequently?
Yeah.
Or, you know, just you know, are you treating this drug?
Are you getting it from a safe from a safe source?
Exactly, like you said, like when you go to the pharmacy, are you going to ask for fentanyl, or are you going to ask for some really good cannabis, you know, in a little jar? What you know, and then while you're standing in line, I'm sure somebody would like kick you in the leg or something and say like, hey man, don't try the fentanyl. Probably want to avoid the fentanyl. Don't eat the rat poison. Stay away from the rat poison.
The brown acid is bad. Do not take the brown acid.
So, last thing I'll note before I go is I did watch a good video today, and it was I found it at Counterpunch, but what it was a benefit concert held on December 10th, 1971 in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and the benefit concert was for a guy. His name was, I think, John Stalling, might be his name. And he had been thrown in jail for 12 years for possession of 2 joints. And he was a White Panther. He was a political activist, a White Panther.
Yeah.
So he was like, had the same concepts as the Black Panther and adopted them in poor white neighborhoods in Michigan. And he was targeted by an undercover cop. And the judge, you know, was so infuriated with his immoral behavior that he sentenced him to 12 years in jail for 2 joints, basically, for 2 joints. And then the musicians, he was the lead singer in the band MC5, and there were all of it was a punk rock, one of the early like punk rock bands.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, all these musicians from around the world, including Stevie Wonder and John Lennon, came to Ann Arbor and held a benefit concert for him, and including people like Abby Hoffman and Bobby Seale and Phil Oakes, the folk artist, and so on. So it was an interesting thing to see.
Sounds awesome.
Especially today.
Yeah.
Especially today, on this day when the House voted to, you know, at least expunge people's records, federal records for marijuana convictions, and move a little bit closer to allowing us all to have access to this beneficial plant that can help us all in different ways. So, you know, I'm glad that you had a program tonight about this.
You know, I've been wanting to do a program. I really want to talk to you guys again. I like I think that we have something to make happen here still, you know, and so I just been I want to make sure I don't want to be stuck in a rut where, you know, okay, we'll just go back to doing what we were doing before. You know, I want to move forward doing what it is I want to do and have some idea what that is, you know. So, and I wanted, and the thing with the dogs, you know, I've been really very concerned about the dogs. So that's my big thing. That Rufus is feeling much better now, and or he got through his surgery and his prognosis is very good, and we're walking, and so it's you know, it's headed a better direction now, you know.
Well, I hope that you find some time to gather some videos when you feel comfortable and when you feel up to it. And I know that there'll be an audience here wanting to engage you when you have time to come back on your terms, how you want to come back.
Yeah.
And like I said again, I'm just really glad to get a chance to see you tonight. And I'll tell you what, I'll try to send $10 to you tonight too. All right?
That's very, very nice of you, Chris. Thank you very much.
I will. I'll go to. I can't get into PayPal, but I think I've gotten into your Patreon before, so I'll try to give it there tonight. And anyway, take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you and hearing Craig again in the future.
Okay, yeah, well, we look forward to talking to you again real soon. I look forward to talking to you again real soon, Chris.
Right on, Mike. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, see ya. Stay cool. That's our buddy Chris from Olympia. It's always nice to hear from him. He is just such a reliable source of information, especially when it comes to the drug war and to the war on cannabis. The UN this week rescheduled marijuana, cannabis, recognizing it not to be an actual dangerous drug. And today, the House of Representatives in the United States voted to decriminalize marijuana, removing it as a Schedule I drug, and expunging people's records that were arrested for marijuana back to the 1970s. But that's the House of Representatives. It still has to go through the House. It still has to go through the Senate in order for it to become law and then be signed by the president. And Joe Biden has said legalization of marijuana is not something he's interested in. I'm pretty sure Kamala Harris has made clear that she's not interested in that. So it will be interesting to see what happens if it actually hits Biden's desk. I can't imagine him saying no to it, considering where the country's at, where the people are at, where, you know, this whole defund the police, you know, Black Lives Matter, you know, is at. But I know where he's at, and he would never do it if the pressure wasn't on him. He would never legalize the marijuana. But again, today is a huge day for freedom in the world, with the UN rescheduling, recognizing cannabis as no longer a dangerous drug, and the U.S. House of Representatives actually voting to decriminalize marijuana in the United States. In these United States, it will be interesting to see where it happens next. I'm gonna heat up the bong, I guess. You guys ready for a bong hit? It seems like now would be a good time for a bong hit. You guys ready for a bong hit? I'm gonna get ready for a bong hit, everybody. Everybody get your torches out. Because it seems like a good idea. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to go here. I need a big glass of something cool. But the good news is, again, I'm feeling better. The dog is feeling better. Rufus is feeling better. Sammy's doing great. My tongue is still not 100%, but it's almost 100%. It's really close. But it's still like got a numb patch on it. Weird. And I'm figuring it out. Okay, so Well, I am planning on doing this at 7 p.m. on a regular basis. We'll have a live call-in show in the very near future. I don't know if it will be on Monday or not, but if we can do it on Monday, we'll do it on Monday. Otherwise, we'll do it again next week. So, for sure. As long as there's not some other horrific bullshit that happens. Okay, so I have a lovely little dab here, and that's one of the nice things about when I say I feel lucky. I'm not angry. I'm not upset about this. I'm very concerned about the dog. That my only real concerns about my health are the dogs. The dogs need someone, and also my friends. I don't want to get worse and having to become some kind of a bigger burden on my friends. So so we're moving forward, though. We're staying strong. Things are looking up. We're walking every day, and it's headed a better direction. I really hope. Okay. Bong hit time. Ready? Here we go. That was lovely. All right, I'm ready when you're ready. I need a drink. Here, let me play a video clip here. I gotta get something to drink real quick. Let me play a video clip, and I will be right back. Uh-oh. Or not. Hello, caller.
Michael.
Hey.
Michael.
Hey, Pete.
Michael.
What's up, Pete?
Hide in you sexy son of a bitch.
How's it going, bro?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to talk to you after so long, brother.
It's been a while.
My man Michael, I miss you. I miss you so much, brother.
Thanks.
It's good to talk to you.
Beverage. Thanks, Craig.
No problem.
It's good to hear from you too, Pete. Craig said that you texted the other day, so thanks for checking in, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I miss you, bro. I'm very sad to hear about your situation. It makes me very sad. I care for you very much, and I just really wish the best for you, my brother.
I know, Pete. And again, that's what I'm talking about. Is I feel very lucky, that I have all these people who give me all this positive feedback, and I have the dogs, and I have Craig, and I have my friends that are helping me. Because I can't imagine what it's like to go through this without having somebody. Like I was saying, I think that there's this natural inclination for people to like kick a person when they're down. It's like this herd instinct thing where they're like the weakest link. We have to cut the weakest link from the herd. like this guy attacked me in the store the other day, you know, because for some stupid reason that was no reason at all. And generally people don't fuck with me, you know. They say, don't fuck with that guy. So it was really odd. Again, maybe it has something to do with my posture being different or something. But you know
what it is? It's the pandemic. It's the pandemic.
That has something to do with it. Yeah.
It's completely changed. Like New York City. Let's take New York City for example. It's turned into how it used to be back in the 70s and the 80s. It's like crazy. Like people at night can't even fucking go outside. Like you'll get fucking shot now. It's like New York's crazy now.
That's one of those things.
The pandemic has done to the city.
Yeah, that's one of those things that they always say happens. You know, is when there's something happens, people start to go cray cray. And it's been a while. This isn't something that just started yesterday. It's been building. So, and I agree. It definitely probably has something to do with the pandemic. That this guy was attacking me, you know, but that's not, he didn't say anything about masks or anything like that. But my point being is that if I didn't have, you know, all the beautiful people that are constantly reaching out and saying, you know, hey, what's going on, how are you doing, and you know, that it would just it would just be like it might be easy to feel like there's just shitty people everywhere that are attacking me, and I'm at my weakest point, you know. So I feel very, very lucky, and I'm not, you know, I'm very positive about all this stuff. So
well, we're all here to support you, bro. We all love you so much, and I'm so fucking happy to see you back in the flesh, and to see you alive, happy and kicking, brother.
Is it snowing where you're at?
No, it's not snowing, bro. It's, you know, it's global warming. It's happening. It is happening. Global warming is happening.
Guaba waba.
Alright?
Guaba waba is real. Guaba waba is real.
It is. It's true. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, and hey, have you guys seen these commercials on TV where they're talking about over the last few months we've learned a lot, and they talk about the medical professional this and COVID-19 that, and then they go, COVID-19 is real. You know, whenever they have to tell you something's real and like keep retelling you, no, this is real. No, this is real. You know, and I'm not saying that it's not real. I've never ever said this is a hoax. I've said just don't buy into the fear. You know, do not buy into the fear. And I've been saying that a long time before there was ever COVID-19. But when they start when they start having to make sure you know something is real, like you can't tell yourself, you're not able to judge for yourself if something's real, you know? No, COVID-19 is real. You know, we've learned that. It's there's something strange there happening, in my opinion. You shouldn't have to be told that something is real.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. My dad is my father's a 70-year-old man. He had a friend of his who was about his age, 70, 71, 72, whatever.
Yeah.
Got the COVID, and they gave him a Z-Pack, okay? That's what happens when you get the COVID. They give you a Z-Pack when you're an old guy.
Huh.
And he said, even after he got the Z-Pack, he said he didn't feel so well.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, bro, you gotta go to the fucking hospital. So I went to the hospital. They gave him the remdesivir.
Yeah.
Remdesivir. The remdesivir, he said he was fine after that.
Huh.
He was totally fine. And, you know, this motherfucker, he's like 72.
Yeah.
You know, had it not been for that, he probably would have died. So, you know, maybe this drug, this remdesivir drug that the FDA rapidly approved, you know, maybe it was a good thing that they did that because probably saved this guy's life, you know.
Well, the WHO just, I think Craig told me last week that the WHO just made a statement saying that the remdesivir doesn't do anything for COVID. But I'm not arguing with what you're saying, you know. I hear you. And again, I'm not saying that COVID isn't real. It's just very odd that when you're aware and that there's like this free exchange of information and everybody's, you know, a certain level of intelligence, you shouldn't have to be told. It's like, no, Santa Claus is real, you know. I mean, you don't need to be told when things are real, you know. So, I don't know. But I hear you. I don't want people to be. I don't want you to let your guard down. I don't want you to.
People like got COVID, that like got put on respirators and shit.
Yeah, is that right? A lot of people.
There was one guy that worked at my company that was put on a respirator. And in fact, it was the very early stages of the pandemic. Yeah, he got put on a respirator. It was bad.
Yeah, that's scary, man.
Yeah, there's companies. Yeah, my company in particular has had. They're trying really, really hard to like minimize the contamination because it affects business and it affects the bottom line. They can't release product. You know. And
psychology of workers too.
So. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But more than that, all they care about is money. They don't give a fuck about the workers, dude. All they care about is the money.
Yeah.
And if the workers get sick, then the money doesn't come out. So that's why, you know, I wish they cared about the workers, you know. But they don't. It's all about the bottom line and you know.
Well, that's all. Look, money seems to be all that matters at all in society right now, Pete. I just everywhere I go, all I hear is people talking about money, 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 money.
Well, it is important because businesses, you know, the economy's got to continue. Dude. We all got to keep working, and we all got to try to minimize, you know, the sickness and keep it from spreading. So, you know, we got to do what we got to do because if the virus gets really bad and we all can't work, then we're all fucked. And if we're all fucked and the economy comes to a dead halt, then it's going to get really ugly. So I hope that doesn't happen. But I don't think it will. I think I agree with you that a lot of this is hype and it's propaganda and it's bullshit. And it's fear.
I just want to see what's going to happen when they start because they're saying like they're going to give the vaccinations to the healthcare workers first, right? The frontline workers, and I want to see what because that should be very interesting when like all the healthcare workers start having horrible side effects and like there's not enough people to help all the sick people.
I would not be first in line for that vaccine. You know?
I don't know. I'm not first in line for any vaccine ever. I don't want to take anything. I don't have to take. That's what I was trying to explain to that doctor. You know, when she wanted me to get this vaccine and that vaccine, I was like, I really don't want to do anything that's not absolutely necessary. She said, this is very, very necessary. You know, and all I can think is, well, it wasn't very, very necessary until I met you 5 seconds ago.
And I work in the industry. I work in the pharmaceutical industry, so it's like I'm worried about the kind of thing where it almost might become mandatory, where you have to get a fucking vaccine to work at a pharmaceutical company.
There was a
fuck that shit. I will never ever ever be forced into a fucking. And if we ever are forced into vaccines in this country, we will see. You thought fucking George Floyd was bad. You will see protests unlike you've ever fucking seen if you try to have forced vaccinations in this fucking country. I don't think it's ever going to happen. So
There was
let's just even stop talking about it.
there was a
I don't think it's going to ever happen in our lifetime.
there was a
We'll have a
there was
fucking
a
revolutionary war before that happens.
there was a restaurant, a Seattle restaurant owner, on CNN a couple days ago, and she said that right now her restaurant's closed. Everything's shut down in Seattle. You can't go to restaurants, only takeout only, right? So she said that her restaurant is going to remain closed until there is a vaccine, and that none of her employees will be allowed to come back to work until they've been vaccinated. For restaurant.
Yeah, well, this is nothing. This is just tyranny. That's just pure tyranny.
You know how I feel about tyranny.
Don't work for that restaurant. Go work for any other place, anywhere.
Don't go to eat at that fucking restaurant. Fuck those people.
Hell yeah. Wherever that place is, don't ever eat there. Do not support that place.
Yeah.
That is a fascist, Nazi restaurant. Fuck them.
Yeah, people shouldn't have to be forced to take vaccines. I see this question a lot, Pete, in the news. Just today and yesterday, is the vaccine mandatory? Like it was on the British news yesterday. It was is the vaccine mandatory?
It's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Well, I heard Joe Biden yesterday talking about if it's going to be mandatory. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna ever happen.
I agree.
Can you imagine the chaos that would ensue if the government tried to enforce that? It would be crazy.
Yeah. I see the government enforcing vaccines on children across the country. And that's children. You think that the people would go crazy about? No, you don't tell me what to do with my children, with my child.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
Like, that type of I don't know.
I hear you. I don't think this vaccine thing. But what I find very interesting is they're gonna give it to supposedly the healthcare workers. And by the way, I keep talking about how they're saying, oh no, over the last few months we've learned blah blah blah, and the COVID-19 is real, right? I don't know if you guys heard this, but Barack Obama and Bill Clinton and George W. Bush have all said that they will publicly take the COVID-19 vaccine so that they can.
Oh my God, I would be dying to see that.
But all I'm saying is this is the biggest fucking propaganda bullshit I've ever heard in my life, man. It shouldn't take that much. It's like the fear has been ratcheted up as high as they can fucking get it with this stuff. And now, supposedly they have a totally safe vaccine, blah, blah, blah. But we got to make sure it's real. And, oh, no, look, the president's doing it. It must be safe. It just doesn't take that much.
He just has a smug little smirk on his face as he says it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get the vaccine.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly what I thought last night. I watched Kamala Harris and Joe Biden get interviewed, and they asked Kamala Harris about that, and she had that fucking smirk on her face, like, yeah, whatever you said, do you want me to say yeah to? Yeah.
Sure, Joe.
Yeah. I'll do it.
Delusional, Joe.
Because any word that comes out of my mouth is valued at 2 cents. Give me a break.
Just disgusting, isn't it? We can all agree that we can't rely on our leadership. The only thing that we can rely on is ourselves.
Well, we have to recognize that it's not the people in our community, that our neighbors are, the people that they want us to be afraid of. Those are not the people that have led us down this dark fucking path. It's the leaders. It's the horrible ones that said, trust us, you can believe in me, I'm one of you. It turned out to do it the exact opposite. You know, we have to recognize that, and we have to come together and take our world back by whatever means possible.
Yeah. It's tough, man.
We'll get there.
It's gonna be a tough road. It's gonna be a very, very tough road. But you know, people are more cognizant. They're more aware. They're more aware than ever. I don't think people are going to be very happy with old Joe Biden, delusional Joe Biden, who really is just a puppet. I mean, he clearly is no brain. He has dementia. He has no idea what's going on. He's going to be a complete, absolute puppet for whatever corporate, banking, military, whatever entity is controlling him. So, you know, I have, you know, nobody has really any faith in his presidency. More of the same.
Yeah, you know, my favorite sign that I saw was after they said, "Oh, Biden's the new president-elect." My favorite sign, with all the people in the street celebrating, my favorite one was, "We're not celebrating Joe Biden's election. We're celebrating the defeat of Donald Trump." I love that sign. I was like,
Which
yes.
is really sad, because Trump really was not, you know, I mean, Trump far is going to outperform Biden. Biden's presidency is going to be fucking awful compared to Trump.
Well, Joe Biden is a fucking, you know, he's a professional politician who's been doing this for 45 years, 46 years, and
exactly.
If he was going to do anything for the people, you would think he would have done something by now, and I don't think there's a single thing that you can point to.
Well, you can point to the Obama administration, and that's it. You know, and we really can't give any credit to the Obama administration, because that's been more of the same. And I think that's what we're going to get with Biden. He's clearly, you know, all of his cabinet, you know, he's filling his cabinet and his administration with all the same scumbag, banking, military, industrial, intelligence, douchebag people. So, you know, it's going to be more of the same.
Yeah.
We all know.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we can expect, and it's gonna be a fun ride, I guess. You know, I mean, what can we really do about it? I don't know, but it's just
keep moving forward, man. That's what we can do. We can keep moving forward, and we have to recognize the real enemy. And the real enemy is not your neighbor, or, you know, the people that they want you to be afraid of, the people that the news keeps telling you to be afraid of.
It's not Russia. It's not Russia.
They're gonna come out here, right? Yeah, it's not the people. No, it's not the people. You know, the government of China may be doing whatever it is that governments do. Governments do evil.
Yeah,
you know,
they suck.
we can't put that.
Yeah. The Russian government sucks. They all suck. But
the American government sucks.
Our government propaganda, like you know, they propaganda us just like the Chinese government, like, just fills their people with propaganda, just like the Russian government does. Just like our government does.
Yeah, you know,
we're smarter than that shit. Well, we are smart.
You know, that's part of the reason why I wanted to kind of, I kind of want to try and move away from politics. There's just, a lot of this I keep saying, you know, oh, we can't have Republicans, we can't have Democrats. But again, I just think I'm in this place to put our faith in any politician is never going to work. And what has to happen is the people coming together. And partially the reason that, again, I'm wanting to move away from this politics is because I was watching 60 Minutes with one of my really smart friends the other day, and they had this CIA agent on, and they were talking about, you know, CIA agent, retired, you know, and they were talking about how the Chinese government is using the TikTok app to spy on the American people, right? And I was just like laughing my ass off, saying, you know, to my friend, look at this fucking spook on television telling us that the Chinese government is doing what the American government does 1 billion times a second to Americans and everybody else around the world they possibly can, you know. And he got all offended, you know, and I was like, see, this is the
try
problem.
to act like our government's any better than any of these other fascist governments around the world. We're no fucking better. We have to be fucking smarter than that. Fucking stupid.
And it's just I don't have a side. I wish I had a fucking side that I could point to these guys and say, yeah, these are the good guys. These are the ones we need to support. I don't have that fucking side. I wish I did. I really do. But it doesn't exist. So I have to fucking look to all of you, the whole rest of the world, and say, they're all lying to us. Doesn't matter which side they claim to be on. They're all on the same side, which is not on our side. And so we have to come together to make the world that we want, because there is no fucking way any politician on this planet is ever going to do that for us. It's going to take all the people coming together to make it happen.
Absolutely right. I don't give a fuck. And we're gonna see more of the fucking same with the fucking Biden administration. That's why I can't understand why people vote for the left or the fucking right. You're better off going to the fucking ballot and writing in fucking Kanye West or whoever fucking asshole. You're better off doing that than anything else. Than writing in one of these establishment douchebags who's gonna sell you down the road. Write in fucking Ron Paul, whatever the fuck. Well, fuck that. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're wasting your time.
Right in my cock. God damn it.
Yeah.
How many times do I have to tell you people? Right in my cock. My cock for president.
We've been talking about for many years.
Because my cock.
If we can establish that there is enough distrust in the political system, and maybe we can establish some change in the voting. You know, we don't have to vote for giant douche or turd.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we can actually get some real fucking can.
It's gonna take again.
Maybe it'll happen.
Yeah, I wish that I could believe it. Like I said, there's nothing I would like more than to be able to say these are the good guys, but I don't see those people. I don't think those people exist. I think that if
those regular people that go to work every day.
If we get exactly. If we get all the Green Party to take over the Senate and the House of Representatives and the White House, if we get them to take over the whole thing, they're just going to be exactly like the fucking Republicans and the Democrats. You know, it's not going to make it.
I am pro unions. I say everyone out there all working people should form unions, and get and use that to establish fair pay, and fair wages for everybody. You know, everyone should do that, because corporate entities don't give a fuck about people. So workers should get together and organize and bargain with companies for fair pay. I thought it should work. And unions get crushed, man.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. And I'm all about free markets. You know, I'm a capitalist really at heart. I really believe that companies should exist and people should be free to own businesses, and workers should also be free to be like, fuck you, your business sucks and we're not getting paid enough. You know, that's capitalism in a nutshell, and that's what I believe. And we don't see that. That doesn't exist in the world. You know, we have this crazy corporate oligarchy fucking system.
Yeah, you're talking. I love the idea of free market, but there doesn't seem to be that. You know, it's like you're saying, it's this oligarch thing.
Totally doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Totally doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's what conservatives believe in, but it doesn't exist, dude. Doesn't exist at all.
Yeah,
At all.
everywhere where things are. If you're not part of the system and you're being successful, the system will reach out and crush you one way or another, whether legally or through some other way, like buying you out and making you go away. We see it happen all the time.
Broken. This is broken. Everyone sees it. Regardless of what you believe in, everyone sees what it is. We all know where it is. And it's gonna come to a point one day. That's why we see such fucking crazy, out of fucking control protests in this country.
And around the world. It's not just this country. It's happening around the world. Look at Hong Kong. Look at Paris. It's happening everywhere. And I, for one, am glad. I love seeing it. Which again brings me back to the movie V for Vendetta. If you guys haven't seen that, it is a very timely movie, and I would highly recommend it.
It was a comic book by Alan Moore before it was a movie. You ever read the comic book?
No, I have not actually ever seen that.
Oh, Mike, check out the comic book by Alan Moore so good. Alan Moore is a brilliant artist.
Right on.
Check that guy out.
I will look it up on the Amazon.
Shout out Alan Moore, bro. Shout out Alan Moore. Check that guy out. He did Swamp Thing too.
Right on.
Brilliant comic book.
I definitely am familiar with Swamp Thing. I've read many Swamp Things comic. He's very racy.
He's a brilliant man. Love that guy.
What plans you got for the weekend, Pete?
Nothing, dude. It's cold as fuck out here.
Yeah.
I'm fucking shut in. I can't do dick.
Huh. Well.
Cold. I can't skateboard. Well, maybe I will.
Is all the restaurants and stuff shut down?
No, we still have minimum entry. They still letting people in, dude.
Huh.
You can still come in to dude. We're fighting it. Fucking, white knuckle.
Yeah. Wow.
Fuck the pandemic. You can do it. Come in. Eat at a restaurant. Dude, the businesses need it. If we have another shutdown, all the businesses are gonna die. All the restaurants across the fucking country, dude.
Yeah,
if we have one more fucking shutdown, it's gonna be that's it. That's gonna be it for the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
They're gonna be fucking done.
Yeah.
It's gonna be another brutal blow. They can't take another one.
No, I
It's
hear
gonna
you.
be brutal, dude.
The restaurants here are having a really hard time. They've been.
That's why we gotta avoid another shutdown. I know it sucks. It's a health risk, but we gotta keep shit open. We got people gotta work. People have to keep working. If we stop working, we're gonna enter the next catastrophic, fucking epic, fucking recession that we never fucking. We're already entering into it. We gotta try to minimize it. I don't know.
Yeah, which is again another reason why we have to stop believing in some politician's going to lead us out of it, because the politicians are what have led us to this point, and what we have to believe in is each other, because it's obvious that what they want is for us to be divided from each other as much as possible, and that's not going to work out well. It's just a bad plan. We have to look out for each other.
Yeah, dude. Everyone agrees with each other, but they don't really agree with each other.
Yeah. Well, it's not
people
important.
On the left and right, they agree more than they realize.
It's not important
realize how
that we agree with each other. We don't need to agree with each other. We need to recognize that there is no politician that's going to do anything, and realize that the only way we can make it happen is by looking at this other person who, doesn't have the same beliefs as me, but recognizes that we need to make a better plan than what these fucking evil politicians are giving us. And I can work together with you. I don't give a fuck who you voted for. I can work together with you. If you want to work together with me, I can make it happen.
That's what I'm saying is, I absolutely agree. That's what I'm saying is the left and the right. It's classic divide
Yeah.
and conquer politics, like the Romans used to do, right?
Yeah.
And if you really talk to people on the left and the right, everyone really agrees with each other at the end of the day. We all agree that we're being controlled by a manipulative class of elite, bank, military-industrial complex, whatever,
Yeah.
corporate, pharmaceutical, whatever, elite. There's an elite group of people that run the economy, just like it is everywhere else. And, we just need to be cognizant of that and not let it, control and run our lives.
Well, we have to, again, we have to be cognizant.
When it happens.
We have to be cognizant of it and realize that there's not one side or the other that's on our side, because that's where we make the huge mistake, and we go separate directions from, like, no, this is my neighbor, this is my brother, this is the person who has to come along with me in order for us to be able to make anything happen. They divide us, and then now we can't make shit happen, and we wonder why shit's all messed up, and it's because they got us so fucking divided. Not the way it's meant to be.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly, bro. It's classic divide and conquer. Hey, dude, I want to ask you, Michael, what do you think about those monoliths that they found? What's going on with those fucking monoliths, dude? That shit is fucking weird. It freaks me out. Because there was a bunch of guys that, like, took it down in the middle of the night. Apparently, the one that they found in Utah, and then there was another one, where was it, in Europe somewhere?
I think they just found one in California. Craig said they just found one in California.
Is that just a bunch of people, like, fucking with us, or is it?
I mean,
I saw the picture. Now, one of the pictures looked like the monolith was hollow.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, dude. I have no idea. Do any of you guys know what happened with that?
Like I said, Craig is he's more informed on that subject than I am. But it looks to me like an advertising campaign for somebody. But because it seems like if it was some kind of otherworldly thing, like, hey, we're trying to get the world's attention with this fucking strange sphere or whatever, that they would get the world's attention with it instead of this little thing like, ooh, what was that? Did you guys see that? What was that? Because like if the fucking aliens or the people from the other dimension want us to get that, want our attention, I don't think it'll be that difficult for them to get it. They're not going to hide fucking monoliths on the moon.
It's too movie-like.
Yeah.
Too cinematic.
To me, it would just be more impressive if if it was this giant thing, and it was like, and it showed up in the middle of Los Angeles. Here's a 100-foot tall monolith that overnight showed up in Los Angeles. Then you got something, okay? But that's not what's happening.
Yeah, it came in, just fucked some shit up.
It's just like right in the middle of I-5, 100-foot wide monolith right in the middle of I-5.
That fucking bullshit right the fuck up.
Then the whole world would be like, stop, wait, what's happening now? What, huh? But then you'd have something.
They'd be like, oh, well, there's finally some justice has been fucking served in the world. A giant comet has fucking hit Hollywood. Thank God. That'll be the best fucking thing that ever fucking happened.
Well, I would prefer Washington, D.C., but,
Holy shit. Hey, dude. Did you hear about the actress, Ellen Page, who said that she's now going to be called Elliot Page? What do you think about that?
Let me think. I think she was in some movie that I liked, but
She was in Juno. She was in the movie Juno.
Yeah, I
which
never
was
saw.
great.
I never
The
saw
Juno
that
was
movie.
fantastic.
I never saw that movie.
I-
Oh
I-
no,
I
no, no!
thought
She
Juno
was on. She was on the Trailer Park Boys, right? Craig. Oh, Craig's on the phone. She was on the Trailer Park Boys. I believe that's where she got her very first acting bits. So,
She now identifies as a man called Elliot, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, Mike. What do you think?
I think that you should be able to identify however you want to identify. I don't really care. I mean, it doesn't matter. Why should it matter to me? It's your fucked up head that wants to be fucked up. So, if that's what you want, you know.
Thank you for saying this. Because it's like, yeah, you're right.
You know, if she wants to
People
identify
think
as a
people-
fucking
people-
chicken, I don't care. I don't. You know, it doesn't matter to me in any way.
I don't either, but it's like, what irritates me is like people are like, if you don't accept it, like if you don't like super accept it, then you're like a transphobe or something.
Well, see, those
Like
people are.
she's weird. Like she identifies as like a man, and it's like you're not a man though. You're like a woman.
Well,
Weird.
look again. It doesn't matter if that's what you want. It's like if I was to meet Rachel Maddow, right? And I've said this again and again for those of you who don't know. If I was to meet Rachel Maddow, the first words out of my mouth would be, "Hey, how's it hanging, Butch?" You know, because that's how she identifies. You know, so I just want to respect the way that she identifies, and I'd be, "Hey, how's it hanging, Butch?" Because I don't know. I wouldn't. What else would you say? You know, that's me respecting her the way she identifies. Right? Isn't it? Isn't that true?
Yeah.
I think that is. So if that's what you want, you got it. No problem.
Alright, we'll roll with it.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Wouldn't be the
No,
first
you're
time.
right. You know, goddamn, Mike. This is why I talk to you, because you know I'm looking for I don't know, a little wisdom there.
Yeah. Just.
I don't know. Hey, dude, what'd you hear about bro? Mike, did you hear about the vaccine hackers? Yo, where's Wilco? Where's my boy Wilco at?
I think I heard something about
those,
that.
Dude, there was a bunch of people that like were hacking the vaccine program. What happened with that?
I don't know. You
Let me
think
get
this?
my fucking iPad because I had it on my iPad.
You think
Damn
this
it,
would
where's my iPad?
be bigger news stories, right? You think that would be like, but that might fuck with the stock. We can't do that.
Bro, there was some. There's people that are hacking the vaccine program or the distribution. I don't know. Weird.
Well, there's always people hacking everything that can get hacked. You know, I mean that's how hackers are. They're trying to see what they can get their dirty little fucking fingers into.
Yeah, you're right. It could very well be just some sensationalized media story. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I didn't say that. I'm saying that's just what hackers do. It's like, you know, when the 15-year-old hacks the Pentagon or whatever, it's not like that was he's trying to attack the U.S. government or the Pentagon. He's just like, hey, let's see if I can do this. You know, this is what hackers do. They go, oh, let's see if we can hack the vaccine. Look at that, we hacked the vaccine. Holy shit! You know, that's what hackers do.
Yo, Twitch. Change the subject. So, how do you feel about the election controversy of the the election results? Do you think the results are invalid? Do you think?
I think that we won't know what the election results are until the Electoral College is certified, and once the Electoral College is certified,
Now, this is another great question I want to ask you, Mike. Because do you believe in the concept of the electoral college?
I don't.
Because
I don't like it at all.
I don't know if I do either. I kind of do and I kind of don't.
I think it's.
Because I kind of believe in the founding fathers a little bit.
Yeah. I would much prefer, when it comes to federal, stuff, like if we're voting on president, I don't give a fuck what Washington state voted for. I want to know what everybody voted for across the fucking country. These many people voted for that, these many people voted for that.
The other
That's
thing is,
the
like,
one.
if you're like me, I live in Rhode Island, and so it's like it's always Democratic no matter what. So it's like, what the fuck does my fucking vote matter if I live in a state that's always Democratic no matter fucking what? And I fucking hate the Democrats.
Well, it doesn't. Again, it doesn't matter what party it is, Pete. Your vote doesn't matter because the politicians are going to go up there and they're going to be exactly the same as the last politicians. It's say hello to the new boss, same as the old boss. It's not going to change, and this is what I'm trying to say. This is my point of the people having to come together. There's just no way, at least for myself, that I can put my faith into any politicians anymore. It doesn't matter. For a while I've been preaching we can't vote for Republicans, we can't vote for Democrats, but I just think that if we all of a sudden we're all got together and said, okay, we're all going to vote Libertarian this time, and we got all the Libertarians in all the fucking seats, then they'd just be the new Republicans and Democrats. And it just wouldn't make a difference. So the only thing that's going to make a difference is the people coming together and the people demanding, because the people can, in just a matter of a very small amount of time, I'm telling you, in a matter of a 2-week period of time, the people of this planet coming together could demand any change they wanted. And that's the whole point of the Democrats.
So, yeah.
Go ahead.
Mike, literally within you talking for 2 minutes, you have united so many more people than you realize. It literally only takes, it's just the leadership in this country is just led by corporate douchebags and people that really don't represent people. But, it just takes one strong leader of the people to really, change shit. And that's what happens. That's what happened to Jimmy Hoffa. That's what happened to, all the people that really represented all the working people in this country. They just get annihilated, And that's what we need. We need real, true fucking leaders out there. To be like, fuck the establishment. The working people have fucking had enough. You guys fucking have taken advantage of us.
Fuck it. They need to be.
Fucking had enough.
Fuck the Republicans. Fuck the Democrats. Fuck the Libertarians. Fuck the Green Party. I'm here to represent the people who sent me here. Okay? Fuck the Republicans. I'm not here to represent the fucking Republicans. I'm here to represent my people that sent me here. That's the kind of people we need fucking representing us, because we don't have anyone representing the working class in Congress at all.
No, literally none at all. I mean, maybe you could make an argument for, some of the progressives, like the AOCs, but even that bitch is pretty radical. I don't even like her.
Yeah, she's just playing a role. See, she knows that her role is canceled out because the Senate and because there's just plenty of people who are not going to go along with what she's saying, because what she's saying is too radical. So she can say fucking anything she wants. So, she does her little theater and everybody goes, oh, she's different and she's radical. And, no, she's just another fucking politician that can't wait to sell your ass down the fucking river for more power and more money.
I don't know.
I've given up on the politics thing, dude. It's just got to be the people coming together. The people have all the power, but the people have given all the power to the fucked up politicians, and we can't have that anymore. The people must take back all the power so that we don't have to be, babysat by this goddamn nanny state. It's just stupid. And it's time for, a 21st, if not 22nd century fucking, New Deal or whatever. Recognition.
Yo, Michael, I can't even talk anymore. I'm gonna leave you and let someone else talk. Okay?
Okay.
But I just want to say that I love you, and I love you dearly, and I wish you were out there more. I wish you talked more.
I'm gonna try and get out here more, Pete. I promise.
But no pressure, bro.
Yeah.
I love you. You take your time, and I love you dearly. You do what you do.
I was really glad to see you. When the second you said hi in the chat room, Pete, and it's good to talk to you, bro. And thanks a lot for calling and checking in when we're not around, when I'm not around.
Dog, I just want to say, I love you dearly, so much as a man can love another man as straight as possible, All right?
Okay, Pete.
So God bless, and keep on with the cause, and I love you, and God bless. And one more.
All right, bro.
Kisses.
All right, bro. You stay cool. We'll talk again soon, I hope, okay?
Yo, kisses. I love you, and I'll stay for real. All right?
Okay.
Love you.
Okay, Pete. Nice to hear from you. That's our buddy Pete from Rhode Island. It's always good to hear from Pete. It's really nice to hear from you, Pete. Sorry it's been so long. But again, we're going to get back to doing this on a regular basis. We'll just kind of pencil in 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. We're going to pencil it in because right now I do need help doing the show, because we guys saw the issues that we were having with the microphones and stuff at the beginning of the show, and I don't want to. I can't handle that issue on my own right now. Little things are very frustrating, and that's one of the things that bothers me the most. Stupid little things are frustrating, like trying to take stuff out of the refrigerator. Stupid. Hello, caller.
Hey, Michael. Good to see you again.
Hey, bro. What's up?
Not much, man. Finished my trimming. I imagine you finished your trimming too, and fucking headed towards Christmas, where we can all be pagans or fucking shop like crazy people who aren't in the apocalypse. I'm in the apocalypse. Are you in the apocalypse?
I'm just chugging along. I'm in an okay spot, man. My dog's doing better, and I'm doing better, I guess. I'm feeling better. My muscles don't hurt quite as much as they did yesterday, so I'm feeling better. Yeah.
Yeah. Part of that tongue will probably never come back. Every fucking slash of a knife, every I pulled an Achilles tendon once, and I had my neck almost broken once, and some things never get fully back to 100%, but you learn to live with them. You'll probably always have a small dead spot on your tongue. You probably chewed it half off, and the nerves, sometimes they take years to grow back. It ain't gonna happen in fucking a couple months, man.
Yeah, that was like the first thing I asked the doctor in the hospital. I was like, he said, "Do you have any questions?" I said, "Is my tongue gonna get better?" And he said, "Let me see your tongue." And I stuck my tongue out, and he fucking cringed, like doctors shouldn't cringe. He's like, yeah, tongues have amazing healing ability. I was like, shit.
That came straight out of the medical brochure there. Yeah, well,
you look good, dude. So, but I'll bet you one thing. You've never seen an election like this one, ever. Not even 2000. 2000 was a cakewalk compared to this one.
Yeah, this election isn't over yet, but 2000 wasn't a cakewalk, and there's a whole lot of unsettled shit with the 2000 election, as far as I'm concerned. That election still isn't over, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I got a surfer buddy. His name's Hanging Chad. He's like the best. He gets tubed all the time. Hanging Chad, man. But I listened to the whole 2000 bullshit, even the Supreme Court bullshit, and it was bullshit. It was bullshit. Yeah, it was total bullshit. This one's more complex because you've got massive fraud in 6 states at least. Some of them are just on the ground, kind of uncoordinated fraud by zealot Democrats, and then some of it is corporate Illuminati behind the scenes. We're going to control the narrative, and you got that bald-headed guy from Star Trek, blah, 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 beaming death rays into people. You will be satisfied with Joe Biden. Joe Biden is your president. You got the office of the president-elect.
Yeah.
It's like fucking the psyop couldn't be more blatant. It's like, dude, I think Trump probably got close to 80 million votes myself. 80 million.
Yeah.
But we'll never know.
Yeah.
And there's a chance that Biden will get in there, and but there's also a chance, for me, I've been paying attention. I think it's at least 50-50. It might even be 55 in favor of Trump.
This election's not over yet, and the people who are kind of buying into the idea that it's over are really don't know the kook job that's in the fucking White House right now.
Have you been keeping tabs on all the hearings in Georgia and Pennsylvania and Arizona?
A little bit. I'm not seeing them. I'm not watching every minute of them.
I subscribe to an additional 20, 25 kind of right-wing YouTube channels and other places on BitChute and places like that. And just today, a video came out of the surveillance in Georgia. They kicked everybody out of the room except for 4 kind of quote-unquote insiders, right, Democrats, and they hauled out at least 4 giant suitcases full of ballots, and they ran them through the machine. So I don't know how many times. I think they ran them through multiple times. And that was all on video. So as far as I can tell, Pennsylvania's going to go for Trump. Georgia's going to go for Trump. Arizona's kind of up in the air. Arizona happened, today's Friday. Arizona happened yesterday and today. And there was, and then I hear the president of Dominion is hiding. Then they can't find him. And then there's certain politicians, including Pelosi, have money in the Dominion machines, and it gets complicated, dude. And then Dominion was sold, $400 billion worth of Dominion stock was sold to China in October. So there's lots of details. Some of them might be pertinent, some of them might not. But, yeah, it's a fucked up situation, and unfortunately, I'm actually siding with one side. Usually I'm neutral. But when and I'm not even saying this is a new situation, because they probably fuck with every election.
It seems like, yeah.
But when it's so blatant, if you remember Trump on the night of the 3rd, he did like 6 whirlwind tours of 6 different cities with his jet. And then he was looking so confident, and then the numbers were coming in, and then all of a sudden, we all go to bed, and then it's like, Joe Biden's the president, on the forums. They're like, Joe Biden is the president. Joe Biden has a prefabbed office of the president-elect, and he's talking to world leaders, and every fucking news station in the world is saying Joe Biden has won the presidency, and Donald Trump's getting deleted off of Twitter, and it's like, and then You know, I heard that. What is it? Remdesivir. It's the medicine that he takes is actually a. You know, what do the police pop to make their muscles? A steroid. It's actually a steroid.
Oh.
And it makes people go a little bit crazy. And so you could tell on his Twitter feed, it was like, I'm going to get those motherfuckers now. He broke his phone, tweeting so much, and it's getting blocked from Twitter. So it's, and the people all over the world are going, what the fuck is happening to America?
Right.
So I'm watching, and I'm learning, and I'm not happy. I'm not happy with people still, you know, I was so busy with my trimming, 15 fucking days of constant trimming,
Yeah.
15 hours a day.
Yeah, that's
and it's getting closer to November 3rd.
and that's backbreaking work for anybody who's never done it.
Well, it's just, it takes discipline, you know. It's not like lifting boulders, but I'll take trimming weed over lifting boulders.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still, if you're not used to it, it will destroy you.
That's why you got to smoke a lot of weed, listen to a lot of Sufi music, and never be around people who drive you fucking nuts. Just don't even be around them. You got to get in a mellow space, and you got to say, I'm a disciplined human being, and I'm snip, 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 trim, 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 get in the bag, get in the bag, get in the bag. Don't stop unless you're drinking coffee or having a smoke or taking a hit, and just keep going, and all day long. And so at 15, I don't know, it was probably closer to 20 days of that shit.
Yeah.
And I kept saying to myself, oh man, I gotta vote. It's getting close to the fucking November 3rd. I better fucking vote, man. Better fucking vote. Because, you know, as much as I hate Donald Trump's Middle East policy and its dumb shittery in general, he is the only person standing up to globalization and the New World Order. So I figured I gotta vote for Donald Trump. I gotta vote for Donald Trump. And I've got gook on my hands, and I smell like marijuana. I got lubes in my hair, and I got fucking fighting the rats in my, they're trying to get to my hanging plants, you know, and fucking I never did vote. So I was too busy to vote. So, but I saw what happened. I paid attention and I saw what happened. So I feel like a Trump voter, right? But I never actually made it out the door. And as a matter of fact, you know, I got renters here, right? So I had like 6 mail-in ballots for everybody, and everybody grabbed their fucking ballots, and then these dumb fucks voted for Biden. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother telling them why you don't vote for Biden. You know, and at that time, Biden's son's escapades were all over the media, right? And then,
Yeah.
You know, he's in the pocket of China, and this guy's fucking his niece or whatever he was doing, snorting coke off her ass, you know, and getting a new pair of dentures because he did too much fucking whatever tweakers do, you know. So, and so it's just been a constant fucking mess. Today's the 4th. That's 1 month we've been at this fake bullshit election, and they're now just coming out with video from Georgia. The Pennsylvania Senator Mastriano, that guy's a monster, man. He's gonna flip Pennsylvania all by himself, you know, because you know that the electors actually make the call, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not over. This is, I mean, and a lot of the states, the elector, what do they call them? The elector?
Yeah, electors.
Yeah, the electors are not committed to voting the way that the outcome of the ballot either.
Right, and you got a Republican majority, which, despite the fact that Trump hasn't got the support that he deserved from his Republican comrades, they probably went, by the time, if the electors get all assigned from all of these 6 swing states, they probably will go for Trump. I think he only needs to flip 3 of them, and he's got 300 electoral votes. And there's several, you know, first wave is go to the courts and try to overturn the certification. They failed a lot doing that. The second way would be the electors, and the third way would be the Supreme Court. And I think there's even one other way I can't think of. But it's pretty complex. It's interesting, but it's disgusting because they stole America's vote. And just think, you know,
That's the main thing. That's the main thing is that it's not a matter of who won or not won. It's a matter of the American people are the ones that are being cheated, not Donald Trump. The American people.
Right. Yeah, and they're being cheated blatantly out in the open, and they're being gaslighted because they say, "I didn't hit you." And you slap somebody in the face, say, "I didn't hit you." That's what they're doing to the American people. We didn't steal the election. We have an office of the president-elect right here. And I think fucking Biden came out yesterday and said, "Well, I'm going to get a disease and then I'll just resign." Remember? Did you hear that?
Yeah, he said some stupid. He said that was what he told Barack Obama he would do if they disagreed about some substantial policy.
And then I hear Tulsi had a lot to do with the marijuana push today or yesterday.
That's easy to believe.
Yeah, and she, I just saw one of her tweets, and I can't quote it here because I don't have it up in front of me, but she's also pushed for, what do you call it, when you get rid of the charges for the marijuana offenders?
Expunge.
Yeah, expunge. So it wasn't just a legalization thing. It was an expungement. I'll have to read the bill.
Yeah, they're going to expunge people with non-violent marijuana records back to the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know...
that's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, Zippy Ditch Digger down in Alabama, who's been in prison for 47 years for a seed. He finally gets out of prison, you know. He can write a book. I mean, it's so fucked what they did to people. And I did see one dumb fuck. This is all I saw of the whole thing. One dumb fuck senator or government official saying, well, you know, everyone agrees marijuana is a gateway drug. And somebody else out of screen said, well, you know, I heard it was milk was a gateway drug, and then it was beer, and then it was bourbon. He said something like that. And so they're still pushing the gateway drug thing. And
yeah.
So fuck that shit. I mean, what we want to do, we want to put fucking heavy doses of invisible THC in Nancy Pelosi's water and just watch her fucking stumble, bumble, and mumble. You know, that's what I want to do. That's the wicked
Well,
witch
that's,
of the West.
I mean, you put vodka in her fucking water if that's what you want, not THC.
She's got enough vodka in her bloodstream already, man. She can barely keep it together. She's the most crooked fucking witch of the West I've ever seen. And she's got money in Dominion voting systems, too.
Yeah.
So, fuck them all. Fuck all these crooked motherfuckers. And then you got, on the 21st, you got the exact same alignment that was the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. And was what the Star of Bethlehem was in 4 BC. That was the Star of Bethlehem, was a conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter, bringing in the age of Pisces, I guess. And so now some people are saying this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. So I don't know, but it's very strange times, you know.
So that happened on the 21st of November, or it's going to happen on the 21st of December?
Oh, I meant December, on the solstice. There will be an alignment of and a conjunction. They're coming together of Saturn and Jupiter. It's going to look like a star in the sky. Now, It did not happen on December 21st in 4 BC. It happened in like May or something like that in 4 BC. And then the 3 wise men, one from Persia, one from India, and one from Pakistan, rode their idiot fucking stone camels to Bethlehem, and they said, Yo, Mary, where's your little boy, Mary? And then they found him in the cave, and they gave him gold and frankincense and myrrh. And that was not on the winter solstice. But later, of course, after Jesus died and all that shit, they accepted all the quote-unquote pagan holidays, and they switched his birthday to the 25th because it made more sense. The sun will rise and the heat will come and winter will be over and we're all saved. And of course, I still have original sin. I never managed to get rid of my original sin. As a matter of fact, I think I multiplied it like Ebola or sclerosis inside of me. So I'm just filled with sin right now and guilt-ridden and everything. And praise Jesus! It's like, oh, somebody brought me a fucking birthday present, man. A cool-ass fucking bong. My first excellent fucking bong.
Right
Little
on.
tiny one. 10 inches tall. Simple. Doesn't have all the gadgets on it. And I got a nice little pipe, too. So I'm smoking out of excellent gear right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, it makes a difference. I haven't had...
Well, it's nice to have friends, too.
True. That was all I got for my birthday. That was it. Somebody bought me a bong, and that was like cool, man.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, cool. So it helps when people tell you, hey, I'm glad you're alive, So
Well,
I'm glad you're alive, Mike. I think you're a cool guy, and you're a beautiful man, and every couple times a week I go and I click on Mox News and I see if you've been posting any videos. You haven't been posting any videos. Have you just staying off of FaceTime with the blue light coming from the computer or what?
I have not had any interest in sitting in front of the computer, honestly. This is like the third time that I've sat down in front of a computer for more than like 2 minutes. Because we did 2 other live shows besides this one since I got out of the hospital. So
you've been outdoors walking. You've been trying to reestablish your connection with nature.
No, I've been taking it easy. The dog was sick, and I needed to get the dog through his illness. I was sick. My muscles, every one of my muscles hurts like a motherfucker, and
in your back.
In my back, in my legs, my arms, and my shoulders are completely foobar.
Yeah, man, I can't push anti-inflammatories enough on you. I know you don't like pills and shit, but I'm an aspirin freak, dude. I take 2-3 aspirin every day. I'm 62 now. I just turned 62, so now people can call me fucking old man. Not 61, only 62, and I love my aspirin. I take my aspirin with me. I get up, I fire up a cigarette, I heat up my coffee, I come in here to the studio, I turn on the fucking computer, I'm watching 20 news channels, I pop my aspirin, and I wait for about an hour till it kicks in, and I'm good to go, man. Anti-inflammatories are the way to go, and I would recommend it. I know if you got a sensitive stomach, then have a couple pieces of bread, but...
Well, the only thing that I've been taking besides cannabis for a long time is ibuprofen.
That's a chemical, dude. I know that aspirin's a chemical too.
And so I have been, and to me, it combined with the cannabis, it's always been like a miracle drug almost, because it's anti-inflammatory. But the doctor's like, yeah, no more ibuprofen. So I don't know.
Why did they say that?
I don't know. They didn't tell me to stop eating anything or anything like that. But they were pretty specific about the ibuprofen, and I take Sudafed for hay fever, which I hadn't done for many months. But I'm gonna have to ask him about that. I'm going back to the neurologist on January 5th, and I'm gonna ask him about something for all the pain, and ask him about something for some kind of replacement for the Sudafed, because when the pollen kicks in here, if I don't have something, I will sneeze 100 times plus a day, and that is very difficult on a guy.
You will do what, 100 times a day?
Sneeze. Sneeze.
Oh,
Hachoo.
oh.
Hachoo.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, well, the doctors, all they can do is give you a menu of pain pills, and just like everything else, you're going to have to take them and then listen to your body and which one interacts with my body, and it makes me feel better. So it doesn't matter what the fucking doctor says. You take this or you take that. You know, listen to your body. If your body does better on aspirin, take aspirin. But I got to tell you about the ibuprofen. It's more than a year ago I learned that ibuprofen causes a lack of empathy in the human brain, and that people are more likely to flip out on emotionally flip out on ibuprofen.
Huh.
This is a fact. It's not. I'm not bullshit.
Well, I don't think I lack in empathy. I really don't.
I know, but also it's said that it increases your risk of COVID-19 infection. And I learned that during my last 9 months medical training exercise in the house of COVID. You know, I learned to be a faceless man in the house of COVID. And I was a warrior, and I did all my research, and I would get off the ibuprofen simply because of the it doesn't interact well with COVID-19 and increases your risk. But listen to your body. If you can get aspirin or another anti-inflammatory like aspirin, I forget what they call them.
Yeah, I was having a problem with headaches at first when I got out of the hospital. But since I started smoking, I wasn't able to smoke any weed for about a month after I got out. It's not that I wasn't able to. It's that I was trying to let my tongue heal. I didn't want to be hitting my tongue with hot smoke. But since I started smoking again, taking dabs, I feel I'm not having an issue with the headaches. But my muscles are just so achy, man. He told me that when I saw the neurologist, he told me that that on this medication that they have me on, that a seizure might express itself in it may actually just be so much as me turning my head to the right, and that might be a seizure, right? So I'm wondering if I'm having seizures that I don't know about, and maybe that's why my muscles hurt so much, you know?
No, I think you're having muscle memory because you were in seizure for multiple hours, and you fucked your muscles up, and your muscles were just over-stimulated by biological reaction or whatever brain fart you were going through.
Yeah.
So it happened to me. I mean, I get, you know, I've never had a seizure like that, but the reason your back hurts when you get emotionally upset, or stressed out, is because you're tensing up, you know, and you were tensed up for multiple fucking hours, and and now you're off of your daily routine of whatever medicines you take, and including marijuana. So your body's still healing from the trauma, and what you need is anti-inflammatories too.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'll ask him about that. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go back in January. I'll ask him.
But I did catch, even though I didn't call in, Craig shooted me over the last talk show you did weeks ago, and then I saw it after the fact, and I heard your story, and you did good telling that doctor to fuck off, that female doctor.
Yeah.
You did good, man. That's the way you're supposed to treat doctors. You know,
that neurologist, man, when I said she said she wanted to cut the dose in half, and it was a really strong medication, but she's decided she's not going to do that. She's going to wait until I see the neurologist. She's like, and what is this doctor's name again? You could see like the top steam coming out of the top of his head, you know, like so, whoever that person is, they are way out of line.
You know, I have two sisters that are doctors, and they're morons.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't see a fucking giant armadillo running at them full speed if they had glasses on. They're dumb fucking morons. And I know, you know, because I study psychopathy, that medical personnel, whether they're nurses or doctors, develop a thing called EDD, and it's not erectile dysfunction. It's empathy deficit dysfunction.
Yeah.
It's a condition because they're around stressed out, sick, dying people all the time, where they turn off their emotions. and both of my sisters have it, and I would guess 50% of the doctors and nurses have it. If they're not ripping off, if the nurses aren't ripping off their fucking dementia patients. I've had plenty of friends that have dementia, and they go in and the nurses rip off like $1,500 worth of stuff from under the table. I don't know what happened to it, you know. So you can't trust the medical professionals because half of them are emotionally deficit, and the nurses are usually drug addicts who will steal from you. So if you want to go to the hospital, people, go to the fucking hospital, but wear a suit of armor and a chastity belt. You know, no one can get in and rape you while you're under anesthesia. You know, I don't trust doctors. I got 2 fucking moron sisters, and I know I'm prejudiced because of that, but I'm not bullshitting. Empathy deficit disorder. It's a real condition. It's probably not listed in the DSM, but maybe it is, and I just don't know about it. But that's what happens to nurses and doctors. Is it's like, oh, I'll prescribe this guy 1,500 milligrams of liquid Anunnaki shit, and overprescribed it. Did you have a fucking? Did you have a? Half your body doesn't work now. Oh, I'm sorry, I prescribed too much.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they don't give a shit. They're corporate slaves to the pharmaceutical lobby, and the pharmaceutical lobby is the one we're fighting on a global basis right now. They bought off the media. They own the media. They bought off the WHO and the NIH. They bought off the politicians. They're the ones. The pharmaceutical lobby is the ones responsible for, if you're in a state like I am in California, for a fucking lockdown. My governor says I gotta stay home. Fuck you, motherfucker. I'll shoot your dumb fucking ass. You know, and Washington and Oregon, and they all got their different fucking games they play. It's the pharmaceutical lobby, the unnatural Rockefeller people that sprang up from hell in the year 1900, and they got rid of marijuana, and they got rid of natural medicine, and we're you know, what do they call it? Alternative medicine. It was the original medicine. It's not alternative. It was the original medicine for 25,000 years on planet Earth, until the Rockefellers wanted to make medicine out of petroleum products, and that's what we got now, petroleum products. And the whole goddamn lockdown and the curfews, they are the result of unnatural, satanic social structures, social, you know, manipulation. We're being manipulated by giant forces that most people don't even know exist. And so, you know, the closer you can get to nature, you know, go for a walk, get your feet on the grass, look into the sky, talk to the animals. You can learn more from talking to a bird than you can a fucking doctor. I swear to God. You'll learn more about human life from talking to a bird than you will talking to some emotionally deficit doctor. So when I heard your story about how you told, under duress and under still recovering from the shock of what happened to you, you basically told the fucking doctor to fuck off. That's my kind of man there. It's like, dude, it doesn't get any better than that. You were probably polite, but she was probably stressing you out. Was she? I remember.
She's like, why is it that you don't want to have these vaccines? And I said, because I don't want to have another seizure. And she said, there is 0 chance of that happening. And I was like, well, I'd really rather just not do anything that's absolutely not necessary right now while we're figuring this out. And she said, this is very, very, very necessary. And I was like, it wasn't necessary until I met you fucking 30 seconds ago. So we're clear.
Show me your cut, bitch, and we'll see how necessary it is, you know. It's like, fuck. No, you did good, man. You were in shock and under duress and not feeling good, and you still stood up for yourself. And you know, I don't take it's animal psychology, you know.
Yeah.
I met a poll worker today who tried to muscle me into doing this and doing that. I was coming out of a store, and he was like, you know, some people call it lifting your leg. Like, you know how it went in dog hierarchy. One dog will piss on the other dog, you know. And this is what human beings are doing to each other. They're trying to establish hierarchy, but we're an animal that is perfectly capable of working in cooperation with each other until you put a white coat on, or a police badge, or an army hat, or you're waving a flag. And then you're into the hierarchical mindset, you know. But
I'm in charge.
Yeah, I'm in charge of you.
Right.
And then you said, no, you're not, bitch. You know, so good for you, dude.
Yeah, well, I like I said, I just don't want to. I want to figure out this one. I don't like this doctor thing. You know, like you said, you know, I go into this place. You know, there's all these fucking sick people in the goddamn waiting room wearing stupid fucking masks that won't stop coughing. Why are there people in the same fucking room as me that won't fucking stop coughing during a time of plague, right? And you know, this is just stupid. And so there's all, and I don't like the doctors. And then she starts this stuff with, oh, you're a real tough guy, huh?
Yeah, right.
No, you just saw me crying 30 seconds ago, telling you I don't know what's gonna happen next. You know, fuck.
Yeah, you know, that's virtue signaling. It's like, baby, I'm gonna virtue signal you, and then I'm gonna do the doctor hierarchy thing on you, the gaslighting. It's completely necessary that you inject this poison into your veins right now. See my white coat? It's like, fuck you, you bitch. You inject that shit into you. Show me your cunt, bitch. It's like, fuck. Yeah, you would think it would be simpler to understand. You know, I don't want to add extra things. I don't want more chemical, you know, pharmaceutical chemical in my body while we're trying to figure out this issue. You know, I don't want to fucking wake up in the goddamn hospital again and multiple days have passed by and I don't know a fucking clue as to what happened, you know? Yeah, shocking. So you demonstrated, you were the archetype of humanity, and she had the robot archetype, the white robot archetype. Well, you're a tough guy, huh? It's like, oh, if you show your humanity, which is either vulnerability, which you showed, and anger, which you showed, righteous anger, then all of a sudden that's anathema to a person who has a robot soul. It's like, you know, it's like they've criminalized normal human behavior to such a point where they're going to gaslight you when you show it. You know, fuck them, fuck it. That's emotionally deficit professional. If you can call her a professional, I don't give a fuck. But am I getting you stressed out, Mike?
Well, I know that other doctor, that neurologist, he was not very happy about her professionality. Right? She was like, "What is this doctor's name? And where did she work at?" I'm like, "She's right across the street, dude. Here it is, right here, Robbie."
Whoa. Well, that's cool. That's cool.
Well, he's the only one that actually seemed to understand the kind of what I was going through. But again, he's you know, a specialist. You know, she's a general practitioner or whatever. You know, she's not studying my brain.
Right. Yeah. Pushing a fucking. You know, they're giving away free turkeys with the vaccinations here.
Yeah.
You get a free turkey till you get a vaccination. It's like, dude.
Just in time for Easter.
Yeah, it must not be that good if you have to give away a free turkey with every injection, you know. So, fuck. I mean, if anybody needs any more signs that we're in the apocalypse, right now, a slow motion apocalypse, and it's like, get out your video cameras and film it, man. See, this is what it was like when you're a grandparent and you can show your grandkids. This is what it was like when we were in the middle of the apocalypse. It's like this guy was saying this and that guy was saying that, and then they all hit each other with their protest signs, you know. So if Trump happens to win, you're gonna see so many millions of people fly off the handle. But if Biden wins, then all the Trump supporters aren't going to rip America apart. They're going to go back to work. basically. And say,
Well,
fuck
that
you.
sounds like a good thing too. People going back to work seems like a really good thing.
That's all I want, man.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for my fucking mailman job, but I can't find it. You know.
No, you should be shooting for SpaceX, dude. You want to be an astronaut.
Oh man, I don't want to get within 10 miles of Elon Musk. You know, fuck Elon Musk. But I don't care if he smokes weed or not. I think he's weird, and he hates Johnny Depp, and I love Johnny Depp, so fuck him.
There you go. Man has got to have priorities, damn it.
So I've been doing good, and it's good to see you again.
Right on.
I'm smoking my new weed.
Tasting good?
Yeah, it's all good.
What strain?
Well, I just call it Ohio, but it's actually just a fucking, it's like a mulatto bastard of 14 different strains that, you know,
Yeah.
one fucking,
There's a lot of that going around.
yeah, I mean, one of these years I'm just going to go back to pure strains. You know, I can understand it, but since I'm not a professional, I'm more into like quantity than quality. You know?
I'm more into flavors and more into smells. Like when I go to the dispensary, which I don't ever do, but I'm like, what's the skunkiest skunk stuff you got? You know, that's what I want. I don't, you know.
Yeah, do you know how to cure, right? I don't even know if you cure since you just smash them up and take
Yeah,
care
I
of them.
usually just throw it in glass jars. I actually I let it sit open for a couple days. I have these cloth net trays that stack on top of each other, and I let it sit in that for you know, however long, and then I throw it in some glass for however long.
And you're good for what, a year, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I have so much quantity. I cure right in the fucking turkey bag. I used to do the glass jar thing, but it's like fucking.
The turkey bag sounds like a very popular item these days.
Oh, I buy them 10 at a time, man.
Yeah.
And I noticed in years gone by, you used to get 3 turkey bags to one box. Now you only get 2.
Huh.
So it's like the king of the turkey bag corporation is saying, "Oh, the marijuana guys are using our turkey bags. We can make more money if we only stick 2 in a box." You know.
Yeah.
So but I cure right in the bag and.
Right on. Yeah, I hear
You
those
know.
bags are the bomb. That's what that seems to be the current way that most people like to go.
I'm gonna have to visit my local apothecary store. What do you call them? The dispensary.
Yeah.
And see what they got, because you know I have no reason to walk into a fucking dispensary. I'm swimming in marijuana here. So
Should see what kind of seeds they have.
Well, do they actually sell seeds?
They used to sell seeds here, and at least in the medical stores. I don't know if they. I know they sell seeds in Colorado. So I don't know what it is.
You know, I used to get from my seeds from Dr. Green Thumb in Canada.
Right on.
And there's other places. And I'm happy. I'm very happy that people are going to be getting out of prison for selling a joint, selling an ounce, or selling 10 pounds. You know, I don't care if it's 10 pounds or 10 joints. You're not a criminal, you know.
Well, I'm happy
So-
that they're at least talking about it.
Yeah, but it's good to see you, Michael. And
It's really good to hear from you too, Mike.
yeah, man. I leave messages on your machine. I've called so much in the past that I got your number memorized. You know, so even though it's been a month, I still got your number memorized. So, and I talk to the man in black when I call you. I talk to the man in black. You know, leave messages about nuclear code.
I'm sure they appreciate that.
But get back to nature, dude. Go for your walk.
Yeah, I'm working on it. We're walking every day. I'm just not walking quite as much as I'd like to. So we're working on it.
Cool. And sorry about Rufus, but I'm sure you got.
He's getting back. He's getting back. He's gonna be solid again real quick here. He seems like he's He hasn't. He's great. He's a great boy, and he's gonna be really good here. Any day, he'll be back to normal.
Yeah. So because of your tragedy and your situation, what happened, you missed out covering the elections, and I'm wondering, do you feel like you missed out on anything, or was it just like, okay, this is what was meant to be? I was meant to not cover this election.
I'm so sick of the politics, dude. I really want to move to something more. It's not going to get us anywhere. No matter how much we talk about this fucking politics bullshit, it's never going to get us any fucking place ever. And I'm tired of it. You know, I want to do something important. If this is I'm looking at things like, you know, I have this limited amount of time left, and I want to make things happen that are positive and important and actually of value. And talking about politics ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, that's kind of why I never really followed politics. This particular situation, with the confluence of the global pandemic, which doesn't meet the standards of a pandemic. It doesn't. You don't have the numbers for a pandemic, but the confluence is when multiple rivers run together. That's what a confluence is. So you got that. You got the COVID-19 shit. Then you got and that would include all the WHO and the NIH and the FDA and everybody propagandizing all of us, pretending they know what they're talking about when they're just spewing out bullshit. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Well,
and then
it's worse. It's worse than that they don't know what they're talking about. They're purposefully misinforming you. Okay.
Exactly.
So.
And the mechanism they use, the other confluence would be the media. So you got those two streams running together. The media is owned, and they are the ones misinforming you. The big pharma uses the media to misinform us. And then you've got the political situation where Trump, however goofy and retarded he is standing up to the New World Order in a way. He is standing up to globalism. He is standing up to the Great Reset, and he's trying to secure our borders and open up. He's the only one who's been trying to open up the economy. Even when he got the disease himself, he's still so you get that confluence and several others, and then this attempt at stealing the election, of course, is the last straw. And it's like we are in an unprecedented sequence of events that have all come together, and the psyop is so large, and you've got the homelessness, the evictions, the bankruptcies, the lack of possibilities for everybody who wants to work, including myself. And it's like, whoa, and then you got this star, this Jupiter and Saturn coming together on the 21st. I'm about ready to lay on my bunk bed, cut off my nuts, and try to grab that Hale-Bopp comet as it goes by, and maybe I'll see Jesus someday, you know. Heaven's gate, here I come. So it's really weird right now on planet Earth, but talk to your friends.
Which is, yeah, again, that's what I'm saying is I'm not in this place where I feel bad or down or anything. I feel really lucky to be in the position that I'm in, because I couldn't imagine going through this alone, and I don't have to feel like that. Like I said, this person, they kind of attacked me in the grocery store, you know. If I didn't have the good friends that I have around me, and the beautiful people who call and say, you know, express that they care for me and stuff, I would feel like, you know, there's just people everywhere are picking on me, and why the fuck are people picking on me, you know? And I can't imagine how horrible it must feel like that, to be all alone and feel like that, you know, so.
Oh, yeah, I've been like that. I've been down with no help, all alone, being fucked with, and I think those experiences are actually what made me. They made me an activist. They made me stand up for the downtrodden. They made me speak up for injustice and always side with the oppressed and not the oppressor. But human nature when you're empty. It's like, oh, I'm gonna fuck with that guy. I'm gonna get my friends to fuck with that guy, or I don't like the way they look. They're not part of my gang. You know, that's lower human nature. Higher human nature is cooperation, empathy, and benevolence. You know, hey, I'll help you. I'll open that door for you, ma'am. Like, I'm really concerned with the old people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like I want to go and open up the door for every old person I see, or go talk to them. You know, like, hey, how you doing, man?
That's that's what I'm saying. I can't imagine, you know, it'd be like if you were old and having to go through this kind of shit by yourself without people around you. It would be horrible, you know. So
yeah. Well, you sound really healthy, Michael, and I'm glad you have health.
Yeah, I'm lucky.
Yeah, you're lucky, dude.
All right, Mike, it's good to hear from you. I appreciate you calling. We were kind of like, why didn't Mike call the last 2 shows? So
I didn't get any word until after it was over.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and then I just got out of bed a while ago, and I turned on my computer, and then I got a message from Craig on Facebook, and then I looked closer, and live show, so I switch immediately to the live show. You know.
Cool.
But yeah, man, take care, and I'll talk to you soon, and listen to your body, and get some fucking anti-inflammatories, whichever one works best for you, but I can't recommend ibuprofen for reasons I already said.
Yeah.
But take care, buddy.
Okay, Mike, it's good to hear from you. Stay cool.
Okay, bye.
Talk soon. That's our buddy Mike from Southern California. I can't sit in this chair anymore. My shoulders and everything, my back is ready for a change of position. So thanks very much for tuning in, everybody. Like I said, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we will pencil in 7 p.m. Tentatively Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. We'll see what we can make happen coming up for the live call-in show for the coming weeks. And thanks so much for tuning in. Mox News survives solely from contributions from good people like you. There are clickable links in the text body of this video, or there's also links in the chat you can click on if you'd like to help make sure that Mox News sticks around and feels encouraged to do so. That's always very kind of you. So thanks very much. I will talk to you again soon. Until then, stay cool, because one of these days this war is going to end. Gotta end. I'm not taking it.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories, 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.